As you can see, we're right on time, all prepared. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to take off that autofocus. No.
And now they can't see me getting ready.
That's
getting ready. Yes, that's right. That's what you get on Sundays at 6:15 p.m. Eastern on Instagram.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Good to see all you guys here. Thank you much for being here. Great to see you all. And yeah, we're just really. Would you pick a place you're going to sit? You're worse than a. Like a cat. You can't get you settled.
Well, we're on the same couch. I didn't think I went too far.
You still managed to find a way to do it. There. Get this camera set up.
We start our live streams as always, so we're not going to even say anything.
Finally, thank you. We are always known for doing bad startups. Anybody watches Linus Tech Tips WAN show? That's what we were inspired about, to do a really bad job for
I wouldn't
opening.
say bad.
Well, we're always something wrong. I mean, that's our...
It's not wrong.
We wear it with pride.
Different.
Oh my God! And then when you're going on all the time, you say we're making excuses. Will you make up your mind, woman?
Excuses is a good thing.
You're gonna break
right,
my
guys?
head.
Excuses is a good thing. Well, welcome to our Monday, or maybe it's Tuesday morning for you, wherever you are, or maybe it's just Monday morning and you're just starting your week. Who knows? Well, it depends where you are, so you can drop the location of your location in the chat. Welcome here. It's our interview night.
You're getting lots of compliments, I should say, from Willie Reed and of course Marcel.
And is it a different lighting tonight? Yes, it is. The same lamps in a different place.
That's right, because we actually had technical difficulties. I had a great chat with our guest, and right after that, I had the same driver issues with my cameras I had a couple of weeks ago. So
let me fix that, okay? Because that highlight on Andrew's forehead doesn't let me see his beautiful forehead.
Oh, I tell you, it's gorgeous. I knew that was going to bother enough to it. So I had the cameras all moved, the lights all moved, so I'd be able to work on fixing the cameras and get them ready for the show. So, like I say, guys, if you ever thought we were in a big broadcasting studio or anything like that, anything but. Tell her she should. She don't need makeup. She is already beautiful. Immortal Hourglass said to you. Wow. There, you made her day. She's beaming now, and she's coming in.
Very graciously coming in.
Taking a couple of wires with her.
Well, thank you so much. I don't know if you would say the same once you join me on Instagram on Sundays, because there, the first 5 minutes, I appear completely naked, so to say. Yeah, think what you will.
Oh my God.
Well, it's my prep Sunday, you know.
And Uber asks, Uber, I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. If I am not, my apologies. We're in Montreal, Canada. I grew up here in Quebec, the province, and Xenia is originally from Latvia. And the name Puša Studios, is the name of her town her mom grew up in West Latvia, about 40 kilometers from the Russian border.
Yes, that's right. You can actually find a location, and if you look for beautiful Puša on YouTube, you're going to see some beautiful subscriber, or I would say resident of Puša. I made a beautiful video about it. So check it out. Yeah,
it's a beautiful place. I love going there, actually. So haven't been there in a couple of years, but hoping to get back really, really soon. So it's great to have all you guys here. Once again, as I always say, through everything in life that comes at you, so the 1 billion+ channels in YouTube, and you guys chose to spend some time with us tonight. It is an honor and a pleasure. What are you doing tonight?
Well, I'm trying to do different acrobatic moves.
I see that.
Yeah, I'm warming up for our guest. Yes, warming up for our guest. Our guest is a circus performer. That was my segue.
Yeah, I see. Oh, I got where you were going. Yeah.
Our guest tonight is a circus performer. He is amazing. He is flying in the air. That's what his job is to fly.
That's right.
Like a Superman.
That's right.
Yes. And yes, he's going to be joining us. It's Ryan Schneider, and he's going to be joining us from Japan very early in the morning. In Japan right now, but he took his time, woke up extra early for us, and he's going to be joining us, talking all about circus life, performance art, and of course, different cultures of growing up in U.S. and working currently in Japan. So that's very exciting. That's following just in a little bit of time.
I see Andrew and Xavier XOXO. Well, anything with Andrew into it, I do have to check out right away. Wow, good to meet you. Great name. Great name. So, pleasure.
Yeah, and I might have some technical difficulties too, so if I disappear after a while, don't fret. It's just my computer that if you if you joined our live stream yesterday night, I almost choked to death with coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm still alive. My laptop, not so much. So I might have to change my technical abilities here in a little bit. So don't go anywhere. We're not disappearing. Well, welcome to our Monday. Don't forget to like, share, and of course, if you're new to our channel, please subscribe and hit that bell button so you know when we're on next.
Yeah, you guys got us to 5704 last night, and I'm showing you guys to show you it happens to everybody. So it's normal for them to go down, back up, and that. But you know what? As a little whisper, if you know a couple of friends, be sure to bring them over and have them check out the interview. And if they want to hit that subscribe button, we won't get mad at you. I promise. We'll actually. So it's great to we're all in it together, as I say, guys. So I just wanted to show you, though, this does happen to everybody.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And in a little bit of time, we're going to do a roll call saying hi to each and every one of you, all amazing people joining us today. Special thank you for you joining us on your Monday or Tuesday.
I want to welcome Joyce Lewis here. I just gave you a wrench. I also want to welcome the underrated Darkness, which I knew it. We had met already. I wanted to give you a wrench as well. Great to see you guys, and we'll take care of you all the way through. Don't worry about that. If you don't have one yet, we'll definitely check you out in a few minutes. So have no fear.
Yes, that's right. And I don't know. Do you think it's time for a roll call?
I think it's just about that time, guys. This is just a way of saying hi to each and every one of you, is a way of saying like how much we appreciate you guys being here by giving you guys an arena-sized welcome. Because, yes, we have our star of the show tonight, you know already, Ryan, but also you guys as well, because you make this live stream what it is. Our old expression, 20-80, 20% us, 80% you guys. We built a house. You guys made it a home, and thank you so much for being here. Just before I do that, guys, remember, and especially to anybody new here, if you would like, we got tons of last night. We got about 60, I think, selfies. It was crazy. One of the best nights I think we ever had.
Yes, that was amazing yesterday. So, guys, if you want to join into that, more than welcome. And what is it that they can join into?
Thank you so much for getting finished so the link doesn't pass them by. Guys, if you can take a selfie of you watching us, and if you can't do that, a selfie of you, please use our Twitter link there. And also make sure to include the hashtag Blue Wrench Group so we can see you. There's no self-promotion in the channel, guys, but that's a great way to self-promote. You got merch and stuff like that. Take a second, put it on, and bring it up there so everybody can see what you got going on. So, and we love seeing you guys' selfies, and we'll show them periodically through the night. So, we appreciate it. Oh, and she's gone again. Yeah, it's an interesting night, guys. Like I say, if you wanted a real husband and wife duo in real life, you got one right here. There's no doubt about that. So. We have an awesome turnout, guys, and make sure to tweet it out. Keep hitting the like button so we get all kinds of new people in here for everybody to enjoy each other. It's networking, but look long-term, please. It's great to get a subscriber and stuff like that, but it's better off to get to know people. Take a chance. Look at all these channels we interview. People like you guys in the chat. We would have never known you hadn't we take the time to go and see what you do. So it really does pay off in the long term. So she's having a bit of trouble, yeah, from the coffee thing, so... she's just getting set up with our son's laptop, so just bear with us for a few minutes and we'll be ready to go. So I want to welcome Barry Cherry here as well. Good to meet you. Good to meet you. I'm giving you a wrench. There you go. Great to have you. And once again, anybody new here, I hope you can hit the subscribe button and see all the other things we do here. We have shout-out nights for channels twice a week. We also have interviews, as you see tonight, 3 times a week. We started doing them last spring. We're in our 2nd season, and we've already even had 2 Emmy Award-winning guests. We've had awesome channels like we have tonight with Ryan. Channels from all different walks of life, different sizes, different interests. And as always, you can find our full schedule in our About section here. We're on at 7 p.m. Eastern, Sunday through Friday, except for Thursday, when is our second shout-out, Wheel of Shoutouts of the Week, which is a fun game guide. It's kind of like a tacky 70 shows with a wheel and everything. We do that one at 1 p.m. Eastern for all of our amazing European followers are so dedicated and miss sleep because of us, so we owe them so much. There we go. And also, guys, don't forget to we'll go here. We have our Blue Wrench Group merch. If anybody's new, it's not hard at this point now to put together why we call it Blue Wrench Group. As you can see, everybody has one. It's got nothing to do with mods. It's got to do with the philosophy that we're all equals, whether you have 2 subscribers, 20,000, 200,000. We're all YouTubers. We're all in it together. All kinds of stuff here. We even have Xenia's Pride and Joy, which I didn't think was going to do very good, but man, did she ever surprise me.
Yes, wife is always right?
Yeah. Our Blue Wrench Group Seamless Blue Wrenches leggings. We have them, and they've been doing phenomenal, which I'm pleasantly surprised. So that's one of the best selling items. That's right. And for somebody who doesn't want the leggings, you can get the same thing in socks. So just something different. Well, thank you, to Sushi. I appreciate that. No, that's the kind of the point behind it is that, we all are. We got a lot more, and just like anything else in life, we got a lot more things in common than we do in differences. So, and you can find, guys, all of our stuff as well. You can see all of Tube. I hope you guys can sometimes go back and check out some of our past Tube Lives. Michael Price, head writer for The Simpsons and co-creator of F is for Family. We have EVH and Gear TV, who's interviewed tons of musicians. Keys to viral videos with Viva Frey, a lawyer who's also a vlogger. There's something for everybody, guys. And especially if you're not really interested at the moment, definitely check it out, because it might be the new thing that really gets your motor roaring, as they say.
And definitely, and all the videos from last week, including Tuesday Tech Talk, is up in the links just in the corner of this video. So if you missed any of those are all conveniently linked for you up above. And I'm back.
Excellent. You're all set in. There you go. So, guys, I'm going to put in the link one more time here before I start for the selfies. Then I want to shout out all you guys' amazing names here. It's such an honor to have each and every one of you come by. And if it's still not too late to put up your selfies, we'll look at them right after this. So, alrighty, guys. As it works here for the call-outs, we always use echo. You guys deserve an arena-sized welcome for being here. And I want to start off by saying a great big thank you for coming to X Written in Blood, X, Willie Reed, Violet Cobra, Vate Ozaki, and I'm so sorry if I mispronounce it. Please know I do it with love. Ultimate Fish Keeping Show, Trophy Shot Outdoors, Tootsie Rolling Stone Travels, To Sushi, The Underrated Darkness, The Cutting Board, Terrell's Artwork Channel. By the way, Terrell's Artwork Channel is the original wrench here when there was only Terrell and one other person, and has been instrumental in helping us grow our channel. So please show Terrell Artwork lots of love. Super Game Boy X is here. Storm Jones. Scott Fisher's here. Sassy Sandy. SM Gamer. Ryan Schneider Vlogs, our guest for tonight, is in the house. That's right. We got Riley Brock. We got reviewing, playing, and more RPM. Ralph's Trucking and More. Rachel Nola is in here. PM's Adventure Vlogs. Orton Images. Northwest Open Season. Nicholas Poulette Outdoors. Naveri Fam is here. Mrs. Chris's World. Mortal Human 897. Moesha Grace. Miss T's Faves. Miss Loveth. We have Michael Murphy here. Marcel Harding. Little Llama Laura. LaCase. Kubas Dubas 2.0. Kevin the Fam is here. Caden K. Just My Fish. Joyce McGuire. Joyce Lewis. Johnny Boy TV. Johnny T. Cash. John Chum. Joanne Plants. Jason NG. Janet Taylor. Jackie Haru Food Reviews. It's Louie. Immortal Hourglass. Holster, oh my God, Holster Fishing. I'm so sorry. I know I butchered. Finally, the train went off the tracks. I knew it was coming. Much love for being here.
They were waiting for it.
Yeah, I know. I made it longer than I did. I'm like a kid. I'm fine walking till I realize I am, and then I fall. Hastings BNSF N scale modeler. Happy Lux is here. Green Street Recycling Man. Good Cemetery's Gone Bad. Going on Grumpy. Ghost Mafia. Fearless Soul. Eric Brown. Elma's here. E. Oritz. Dotto. Courtesan Music. Christine Realtube Gaming Channel. Chalky Orange. I almost messed it up this time after a while of getting it right. Brad Eyes Gaming. Blizzard Ox FPV. Blake Outdoors. Big Rob. Barry Cherry. Barrel Boy Woods. Ashley Beauty. Annie Huber. Andrew and Xavier XOXO. Alexa Mancini is here. Agnes M. Two Chicks Crew. Welcome to each and every one of you guys. If we missed you, please say hi and highlight our names so we can give you guys an arena size welcome as well. It's awesome to have each and every one of you here. Like 89 Mattel is here. Ken Chua is here. Super Gamer Boy X is here. Anybody you see? She Rocks is here. Caden K.
My family garden. Hello, hello. And I wanted to say hi to everybody who's listening to us on their headphones. Thank you for joining us. And if you can say hi in a chat, please do. And if you can, that's okay too. Hope you have a great Monday evening or Tuesday morning with us.
That's right. We got Gaffa's in the house. Gaffa Haynes, how are you? Great to see you. Oh, you're so awesome, little Llama Laura. So much love to you. Precision Angling. Nappy Missy 101. Hey, how you doing? Great to see you. Great to see you. South Texas Prepper STP. Big Rob's here. That's right, folks. Brewdog 5. How are you? Great to have you in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ashley Beauty. K-Money, Spoken Words. Hey, how are you? Great to see you. And Gussie Wells is in here. Awesome. SM Gamer. I'm not sure if I called you out, but either way.
We like to say hello all the time.
That's right. Avis Logs is in the house. Lots of great channels, guys. Lots of great channels. It's a pleasure to have each and every one of you here. We're going to take a look at those selfies in a minute, guys. I'm going to be turning off the echo tonight. There is no echo night except for the welcome. So there we go. We're back to normal time, guys. I just put up the link once again, guys. We're going to check those selfies in a minute, but it's not too late. It is not too late.
And if you're looking for more echo, join us on Sunday evenings and Thursday afternoons where we play a shout-out game night show. We spin the wheel and there is a lot of echo.
Yes.
So come back for more on Thursday, 1 p.m.
More echo than you can shake a stick at. Gabriel Z, how are you? Good to see you. Okay, how are you? Great to see you.
Sending all the well wishes to little Llama Laura, who's not feeling well today.
God, I'm worried about you.
Yes, I really hope you feel better really, really soon.
Lots of love to Bree Nyard. How are you? Great to see you. Great to see you. I'd seen Nero around here a while ago. I don't know if he's popping in and out.
And Elma, Gabriel Z, Octave Doggan, Jenny, thank you so much for posting the link. Recycle Dude is here as well.
Hey, buddy.
Immortal Hourglass. Hello to each and every one of you. Wanted to remind you that you're more than welcome to ask questions to our guest. Just a reminder, put at Puša Studios, or if you're on your phone, hashtag Puša Studios when you ask a question, so it lights up nice and orange for me and I can see it and copy and save it for you, and we're gonna ask questions during and at the end of the live stream. I'm sure there's gonna be lots of questions about all of the experiences that our guest has had and is still continuing on his adventures. By the way, our guest has a selfie up.
He does? Excellent, because I was going to say we're going to get to the selfies pretty quickly because we want to make sure that, because we know he has a really busy day. It's just morning for him. Early morning, by the way. So we're going to try and keep it flowing quickly so he can get on and we can spend lots of time with him. Once again, guys, please, though, hit the like button, tweet it out. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe. All those help us out to get to more people coming in to meet you guys, to meet our guests. It's great for our guests, the more people in here. We're all in it together, guys. We all win together. We can do this. Thank you so much for all your support. And let's take a look at those selfies. I'm going to get them set up right now.
Just a reminder, it's never too late to add yours. Hashtag Blue Orange Group. And just post it up. And especially if it's on Twitter, we're going to be sharing it out.
And we have little llama Laura, who just deleted it.
Well, we still could see some of it.
That's right. That's
Crumble
right.
ice cream.
And we got Blackjack in here. There she is watching us. Always gets her selfie in. Always love having you in. Such a pleasure, Blackjack. Hope you're doing well. You're so awesome. I just love your style. And there we go. Little Llama Laura's taking a second jump at it. Midnight snack of apple crumble ice cream. Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I don't think we have anything like that. Apple crumble ice cream. Yes, we need one right now.
I think we do apple crumble and ice cream together. If she did it that way, I'm not sure. Watching Puša Studios, like, hey, how are you? Got the whole crew in there. Great to see you.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, guys.
Love that. Thank you so very much.
Oh, I love that.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And there's Ryan. There's our guest, guys, coming on in just a minute. Great to see you, my friend. Looking so forward to hanging out with you.
Yes, man cave. Look at that. He's in his man cave.
That is so cool.
Awesome.
All the way in Japan. Guys, the town they're in right now, literally, you can see Mount Fuji just behind them. It is unbelievable. It truly is. So don't be shy, guys. Bring them in. Bring in your selfies. Love seeing you guys. So there's lots of time. We'll check back in a little while and see. And then, too, if you have merch and stuff like that, that is a great place to throw it on first and show off what you got going to everybody. No asking for support in any way. It was just removed. If you do it any amount of times, then eventually somebody's going to time you out and then hide you. And I don't mind you guys meeting each other tonight. Just treat it like a comedy club on the very down low. Keep it respectful for the guests. That's the end, guys. This guy's a self-taught vlogger, guys, and his work is impeccable. He's traveled the world, starting off from where he grew up in Texas, and there's just going to be amazing stories to hear. Inspiring stories. Guys, these are the type of guests we're looking for that will inspire you in the work you do on here.
That's right, and we hope he's going to add some spice to our lives as well with his adventures and everything he has experienced. And I mean, how much more adventurous it can be going up in the heights of Circus Arena, flying up above everybody. I mean, I'm scared of heights. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be able even to go halfway up there, let alone fly across. So guys, we'll talk about that too, how to overcome that. Does he have a stage fright? Did he have fear of heights when he was growing up? I'm really curious about that part of performance art and circus life as well.
I want to welcome Spammy here. I was just checking out your channel. Wow, beautiful. I can just join it. I'll look at it after the live stream, but great to have you. Great to have you. We're trying to take a look at people's channels before we give them wrenches. So if it takes us a couple of minutes, don't get frustrated. We'll check you out. Just takes a little bit of time. So once again, guys, it's just about time to bring on our guests. So if you haven't hit that like button, please do. If you haven't tweeted it out, please do. And put up your selfie, guys. We'd love to see you, especially if you're new, and get a look at you. It's always a pleasure to see all you guys. Last time I say we had between 50 or 60. It was one of the better nights we've ever had.
Yes.
And it's kind of like a scrapbook of the channel. We're very proud of that. This kind of happened by accident, by Xenia asking people to give Shannon recommendations on how to do a selfie. And it grew into what it is. And like I say, it's become kind of a scrapbook for the channel. Memories of all you guys, so which is really cool.
Yeah, it is amazing. It lets us connect with you guys outside of YouTube and you guys as well with each other too. It's so much nicer when we can put faces behind the channels. That's what it's all about. I
just want to say hi to Grow. Where did you go? Grow Canada 420. Great to have you in here. It's such a pleasure. And Shake the Jake. Hi, everyone. I'm kind of new to this, and I don't fully understand. Not a problem. We have some support nights where we're supporting each other more. You're welcome to meet people. Just do it very and never ask for support. Never ask for, I'm just instead, you're welcome to check out other channels. Say nice things about them. I'm sure they'll check you. But tonight when we're having interviews, we just kind of keep it a little bit more on the down low. So, oh my God, Tokyo Drew's in here. How are you, my friend? Such a big pleasure. Tokyo Drew, you got to check him out, guys. A fantastic channel, Canadian blogging in Japan. And he was so kind to introduce us to our guest tonight, Ryan. So, really cool guy. Definitely got to check him out. And he's got a good thing going on his channel. You won't be disappointed. And once again, guys, if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. We'd love to meet you and show you all the other things that we have going on. So enjoy your time, guys. I'm going to pass over to Xenia for a second and get the link ready to send over to our guest.
Yes, guys. Well, I just wanted to say again hi to each and every one of you who is joining us on their Monday or Tuesday. Thank you so much for making time and jumping up on our stream. Hope you can just relax either at the beginning or at the end of your day. Get your favorite drink, put your feet up, and hope you enjoy our chill chat with our guest tonight. If you're new, we more do informal chat and less of a formal Q&A interview. So I hope that some parts, if not all, is going to be quite interested for you as well. Of course, we would really appreciate if you can let your friends know, your neighbors know that we are live. And in case they're looking for entertainment and something to watch, we would more than welcome them here.
Oh my God, down the rabbit hole travel, guys. That was our very first, she's our very first guest we ever had. Awesome channel, you got to check her out. Just making my dinner with a glass of vino. Gonna try my first. Oh, excellent! Oh, you'll get that. You'll have no trouble.
Awesome. Well,
you'll be fine.
Crossed.
That's
fingers
right.
Crossed.
Fingers are crossed. You got this. So no worries there. Let's see. I also want to say hi to Drew's Food Reviews and Vexicor. Great to have you in here. Little Llama Laura, I'm going to try and sleep, but I will still be listening. Oh, that is awesome.
Really hope you feel better soon.
Yeah, I'm worried about her.
Yep.
I want to feel better. It's just great to have all you guys in here, and we're getting up there, guys. We're already shooting back up towards 90 in the chat, so please tweet it out, guys. Please hit the like button, all that stuff. Let's get as many people in here because it is going to be an awesome talk tonight. Looking so forward to this chat. So there we go. I'm just getting everything set up. I'm getting everything going here.
And let's welcome just a couple of seconds our guest, Ryan Schneider.
Hi. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
Good. How are you?
You're doing great. Good to have you. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. We got a lot of wind going today, and it's been blowing. So we live in a container in this circus, and outside we have tarps that are basically holding our kitchen and the front area of our container where we keep a lot of our stuff, and the wind has just been really heavy, so it's been a lot of noise this morning.
No problem. So
if you hear anything going on in the background that sounds like a typhoon, it's all safe. It's all taken care of. We're good.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah. Is it something that could dangerously happen? And that's why you're good.
If your life's in danger, we will reschedule, I promise.
No, we're good. I think my life is more in danger when I'm working than I'm worried about the wind right now.
That's a very good point. Not many people can say that.
Yes.
that is very true. Yes, and with that, yeah, your career, I mean, your whole story is absolutely awesome. We had a chance to talk for like 20 minutes, and I just loved it. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get this guy on tonight.
Well, that's what he told me when I was actually in the kitchen. He was just running over. I found an amazing guest. You got to see it. You got to see this guy. And I'm like, I just had to look at your one video. I'm like, yes. I mean, we have to have him on. So thank you so much for taking your time and joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
And I do want to say a big thanks to Tokyo Drew, who is instrumental in bringing us together. We owe him a huge debt of thanks for that. So
absolutely.
He is awesome like that. He's a real team player for everybody in that, and that's cool. That's the kind of people we need going. So,
yeah, it's great with the community, where people are willing to help each other out rather than, make it all about themselves. And that's the part about the community of YouTube that I really come to really appreciate. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that was a part of it when I started YouTubing. Actually, it was just making videos for the channel, and then I found out this whole community aspect of it. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then now I'm experiencing it firsthand, and even more now through your live streams, seeing all these people that are interacting and then being a part of each other's support. You know, that's the amazing part of it.
Well, that's the thing. It kind of evolved. When YouTube first started, it was a very individual process. You know, it was that guy that always had a dream of getting a video on the internet easier. And it was very closed circle, if you will. Over time, bonds took 6 months, a year sometimes to develop. But now it's kind of been influenced more by other social media, some for good, some for bad. But yeah, there's a lot easier time now to mingle with people. Like, you could never ask somebody in a chat before or say, would you like to go check out one of my videos? I mean, you would be banned before you even got the words out, you know?
Right.
But like everything else, it's all in moderation. So
yeah,
I'm such a fan of what you do. And I want to start off right off the bat by saying you're self-taught. You have a really great technique going with video. Before we get into everything else that you've done in your life, I want to touch on that right away. What inspired you to start doing YouTube?
You know, it's interesting. I had moved out to, I mean, YouTube kind of ties in with circus, because I was doing circus, and I was talking with a friend of mine who had a YouTube channel, and he was doing pretty good. He had a bunch of little skits and stuff, and then he started doing vlogs about his restaurant. And he said, you know, why don't you start a channel and show the things around the circus, because that's kind of a unique niche that not many people can even tap into. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool, but I don't know what that means. I don't know what vlogging and YouTubing means. But then I thought, well, I had actually just started dating Taiko at the time, and I said, well, why don't we just kind of make videos to capture what it's like, what our experience is like in the circus, and that way, you know, a year from now or 6 months from now, we can look back and be like, oh, that's cool, that's what we did. And because we travel so much within the circus, we're going to be able to look back and have a time capsule of the cities we visited and all the things around those cities. Yeah. Because in Japan, like in any other country, different pockets of the country have their own culture, have their own little cuisine. And so we thought, well, this would be a great way to capture the flavor of each of those experiences in each city that we're working. And as I started to do that, I realized, well, this is a great way to bring circus more mainstream. I mean, obviously you saw what Hugh Jackman and The Greatest Showman did. It brought it really mainstream, but still, I think the traditional circus is not as well known, is still not as, I don't think it's still as appreciated as much hard work that goes into it.
Right.
And I thought, well, maybe using the platform of YouTube, if I can present it in a unique and interesting way, that I could bring that more exposure. And so then I thought, well, with what I'm doing, let me figure out a way to try and build my channel, and not for the fame of like millions of subscribers, but just more for the exposure of bringing circus to the forefront of, like, we're not just crazy bearded ladies and carnival freaks, you know, we're humans that have hard work ethics, that train our bodies and our minds the way we need to for this elite activity that we do, you know. And so many people are grown into it from many generations, and then other people, they seek out schools. There's circus schools, like myself, a trapeze school, and trained ourselves so that we could find a way into this business as well.
Right.
So this is kind of long around the bush story.
But continue.
YouTube, and it all ties into circus. Like, I don't think I would have really been into YouTube if that friend of mine hadn't given me the idea. Well, why don't you start a vlog?
Yeah, I love it.
I kept calling it a vlog because we were talking through text. And like, what is a vlog? So then, yeah, and I started researching as much as I could. And when I first started, I started Googling Japan YouTubers, Japan vloggers, and then I started circus vloggers, circus YouTube. And a lot of it wasn't YouTubers. It was videos that Cirque du Soleil had posted, or just clips that people had posted of them doing their first trapeze class, or learning how to do an aerial acrobatic routine. And then as you start to filter through a lot more of that, then I got a chance to find some of the YouTubers, the people that, you know, put together the stories and build their, and I started looking, I said, I can do that. I mean, I don't have any experience with a camera. I don't have any experience with editing, but it'll be fun to learn, you know? So I gave it a crack at it, and here I am about a year and a half later, and it's a lot of fun. And now I'm so wrapped into it that it's become like the second part of my day. It's circus and YouTube.
And it's phenomenal because your vlogging skills are sublime. Like I was just playing the clip for your intro, and man, I mean, that's sometimes I've known people that take a long time to get what you were doing right there. You know, for 29 seconds, that was extremely impressive.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but I looked back and I actually just saw a comment I got this morning on one of my most popular videos saying, "Wow, this guy is really boring," and I said, "Yeah, I have to agree." Like I had just started vlogging. I didn't know, like, when you're in front of the camera, how you're supposed to present yourself, and I was just kind of talking like I was to a wall with no personality in it. And I said, I challenge you to watch some of my videos now and see the changes that I've made as just far as getting comfortable in front of the camera. And that also has the editing that I've done. And I've just been studying different editors on YouTube and following some of the tutorials that they have. And I can try that. And, you know, like that 29-second intro, that must have taken me 2 or 3 weeks because I was learning everything for the first time, and I had to keep reshooting. And then I'm like, oh, I gotta go buy a green screen and I can make that effect. And I don't know how a green screen works. And how do I do the keying? And there's so many different elements to it that I got myself in way over my head, but I've never been one to quit. And every time I put my head or my mind to something that I want to see completed,
yeah,
I continue to go for it, you know. And I'm really glad that my parents raised me like that and taught me that through the avenue of sports, the competition and the work ethic, it's really helped me in not only in my career but in anything like a hobby like YouTube, you know.
Well, I think that's the part I picked up on right away. I mean, that's kind of a life mantra for you is drive and commitment and seeing things through to the end. And not always that it's going to be victorious, like you say, as being a 1 million subscriber channel or being the great. Not that you're not wanting it, if you won't accept it if it comes, but the more in the satisfaction of completing the task is number one, I would say, with you a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And yeah, your work is phenomenal, and it is a niche, and that's what I like to see people doing is not doing the same old thing. And you really looked at something and said there is, it's the same as when you start a business. If you're, okay, well, there's 10 different donut shops doing great on this block. I got an idea. I'll open a donut shop, you know, and you didn't do that. You looked around and said, hey, there is something missing here. There is a niche that I can fill. And that's the number one way to start getting traction. It's a bit harder sometimes at first to get going, but once you get going, you can build a lot more momentum because people are looking for original. They want that was what YouTube was originally meant to be, was the place where you go to find the original, the stuff you didn't find on ABC, NBC, CBS. And that's what I really admire about what you've done here. And then you built up the skills to do it. That's what I mean. Your vlogging is really like a phenomenal. I'm already a huge fan, and we just met a couple of days ago.
Sorry, my dog wants to jump up and be on.
Oh, bring him up. The dog's definitely allowed to come up and say hi.
Wait, yes. Come on, baby. Oh, now you're shy. Okay, sorry.
Not a problem. Hey, the window's open.
I think she just wants me to take her outside to go pee.
Oh no!
Like, Ryan, it's 9:30. She like knows the clock. She knows when she's supposed to be fed, and she comes and scratches my leg. She jumps in my lap when I'm editing. She's like,
"Oh my
time
God.
to go potty. Let me go."
That is too funny.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, good. Come here. Oh, yeah. Say hi. Say hi.
Oh.
Now we're gonna get all the puppy lovers in the chat, huh?
Oh, that is amazing.
Okay.
Oh.
That's so cool. We love that.
Yeah, there comes the Oz. I knew that. That's so cute.
The chat goes with Oz now.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at the puppy.
Puppy always takes front stage.
Yes,
I kid you
it.
not.
You know, it's funny because that just ties into a video I've been writing, like how I want to make this video, but talking about how having pets in the circus, you know, because most circuses have started to take animals out of the shows because of a lot of the city and municipal restrictions of the animal activists and stuff. And in our circus, we only have one dog that plays a zebra in the circus.
Oh, really?
But so we don't have really any animals, but a lot of people here, they have pets, and they've come to the circus with these pets, which are like family, you know? And Feifei is Taiko's dog, and she's had this dog for 12 years since Feifei was a puppy. And when she came to the circus, she's like, I can't leave my family member behind. So she brings the puppy, and the way that the animals integrate here, it's really interesting because, you know, they're moving cities just like we are. They're adapting to new surroundings constantly because of where we're moving to, you know? So
right.
It's like a whole different world for them too, you know, not just humans adapting to living in a container and traveling every 2 months, but these animals, they're like confused. And even if they grow up in the circus, I mean, I can't speak for dogs because I don't talk to them fluently, but
maybe it's a secret power.
Like if you're in a niche video.
Yeah.
But you can see when we get to a new city that Feifei, she's looking around, she's trying to figure out where's the spot I can go potty, where's the spot I should stay away from. Oh, there's the road, don't go there. And you know, oh, there's a creek, there's water.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and in the containers, where the containers are situated, we don't always have our container next to the same container, and so she finds a new neighbor next city, and that might have a different sleeping time or different cooking time, and she'll smell their food, and oh, that food's different than last city. And yeah, it's a whole different world with them, and I want to figure out a clever way to like present that in a vlog, but I don't want to just throw it together and make it like a look here, this is what happens. I want it to be like from Feifei's point of view. And maybe I'll strap a GoPro to her back or something.
That's what I was just thinking.
Exactly.
Yes. It is time for a dog's point of view.
That's so cool because definitely they adapt to that as well. And, you know, there's a lot of changes, as you're saying, a lot of changes, even for humans. I can imagine for a dog, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talking about containers, I see already at the beginning there were questions about the tour of the container. I don't know how possible is that, but I wanted to say that there is a video that Ryan made where he actually shows the setup. Everybody's right away, container, how do you live in container? So how do you live in a container?
I snuck that in there.
Yep.
So that's, yeah, you know what, it's funny. I think my very second video ever was about the container living, and I was very specific in not showing my room because, well, for other reasons. But yeah, because the way that these containers are, it's a big shipping container. I think it's 9 meter, about 9.5, 10 meter container, which for the Americans, gosh, I forgot the imperial system now. Say 27, 30 feet.
Yeah, shipping container because they come in 40 foot and 20 foot. 20 foot, I think it is. 4 meter.
So maybe it's a 40 foot. It's probably a 40 foot because I measured my room and it's 3 meters wide. My old room is 3 meters.
4 meters is 4 meters is 13.
Yeah. Long story short. I'm getting all confused with all the mathematics of it. That's not even really critical. The way these containers are set up is that each shipping container is divided into 3 bedrooms and 3 rooms with 3 front doors and 3 windows right in the front of the container. They put the air conditioning unit and the heating unit inside it, flooring, walls, and a little crown molding and a light. And then the rest is for you to kind of make it how you want. The cool thing is when I got here, my team leader, he basically set up my room with all the essentials for me. So I had a bed already laid out, and there was a mattress left over that somebody let me use. I had a table, I had forks, silverware, and a dresser. So when I got here, I kind of had most of the essentials. And then when Taiko and I started dating, and once we realized it was going to be a little bit more than just a few weeks, they put us in a larger room. So now the container room we are in, instead of being 1/3 of the container, is 1/2 of a container.
Wow.
And this is actually the only container that is split into 2. The rest of them are split into 3s.
Cool.
So we have a little bit bigger, and I don't know the dimensions exactly of this, and I would show you, but I'm streaming from my computer and it's all connected in. and I've got this really cool backdrop that I really don't want to. You see the mess behind me.
Well, I'm just posting the link in the chat of the video that you're just talking about. So I'm sure there's going to be lots of interested. We are especially interested about the container life because we have been a long time talking about actually like building a life in the container, a home, and even before it has become a fashionable thing, we have been talking about that. And that's why we're even more curious about how it actually happens, you know, when you actually live in it.
And when we moved into this room, it was literally an empty room. And the room that I was in before, oh yeah, there's some of the rooms in the video. Yeah. So before we moved into this room, it was an empty room, and the room I was living in before, and Taiko's room was living in before, we kind of just left what was in there as far as the beds we had built, and all we brought was our dresser and our clothes and everything else. I rebuilt the entire bed. I built a ramp for Feifei to get up because we used the bed, we raised the bed up to where we can put storage underneath. And it's all got a bunch of, it's all very specific of how it was designed because, you know, obviously in a small space, you have to conserve and minimalize. And living with a girl who likes shoes and clothes, it's hard to simplify it. But anyway, we organized it all that way. So I started making videos about how I transformed this room into what it is now, but I never got around to making that because I just had other projects that seemed more interesting to me. But then there's another video that I made. There were 2 cities that we traveled to that were on the opposite side of Japan. And because it was such a far transport, they didn't take our containers. They moved us over there by charter bus, and they gave us like the equivalent of about $200. 3 big Tupperwares to put our clothes in, like a kind of like a suitcase, and I think I can't remember what else, but I made a video about this. And these are all temporary metal containers. They don't have insulated walls. They didn't have heating and air conditioning. So that was another really cool video where I got to see how everybody set up their room being there. What are the things that were important to them that they brought from their other container? What did they leave behind? And you know, yeah, what was interesting or important enough to bring in just those 3 containers? Because aside from that, there was no space to really bring anything else. You know, so it's funny. One of my teammates, the most important thing he brought was his razor, and my boss, his most important thing was his TV and his slow cooker for cooking chicken, because that was his diet, is chicken and rice. But yeah, that was an interesting video. And if you guys go watch that video, I apologize. We were in between shows when I was filming a lot of it, so I'm wearing makeup and I look like I should be in a drag show. But so if you see that, it's definitely not my natural look. But that one was another way to kind of see a different perspective of literally just getting a metal box and how people decided to fit their stuff in there.
That is so cool. And I think it is really cool. And I think it adds to the experience, like, you know, when you're traveling to the world and stuff like that, and not just like the traveling and the day-to-day life with apartments and condos or houses, what have you, but also just the way you bring such a unique perspective on what it's like to be working there, being on the road, and you know, the accommodations while doing so. That's a phenomenal reach that not probably many people have ever shown.
Right, and I had a good friend of mine that came out here to potentially be a new team member of our team, and the living situation, you have to be able to adapt to it. It's different than living in an apartment or a house, so it didn't turn out being the right situation for her. And as much as she loved trapeze and wanted to be a part of the team and everything, the living situation wasn't suitable for her. And like I said, it's an adaptable thing. If you're capable of adapting, if you're not, then I mean, to each his own.
Right.
I was with Ringling Brothers before I came to this circus, so I was on a train living in a room half the size of this 3 meter by 2 meter room, you know. So this was kind of an upgrade to move into a shipping container, even though it didn't have wheels. And it didn't transport itself. It was a little bit bigger space, and it was more customizable than the train room I was living on in Ringling. And it's funny thinking about that. I really wish I had learned of vlogging before, because vlogging while I was in that circus, that was a very unique experience in itself, just being able to every single week going to a different city around the United States. And in many cities I would have never traveled to on my own. So, and that's another story we can get into if you want when we're talking about circus stuff. But yeah, the train room there, I think I measured it was 70 square feet. And that was wall to wall. That's not counting where the bed and the sink and everything came jutting out. So, you know, you had one little walkway that you could probably stand up and stretch your arms out.
That's
wow.
You're in the truck driver style at that point, pretty much at that point. So, but so yeah, I guess it is like kind of a step up than where you are now in the containers and stuff like that. And how long do you how long do you stay at a location usually when you guys go?
With this circus, it's nice that we actually get usually between 6 to 10 weeks in a city. The shorter 6 weeks seem to go by so fast now, but the 10 weeks always seem like we've been in that city for a long, long time. So I don't know, like where the happy medium is. I think it's great that we get to spend enough time in the city where we get to really see a little bit of the city, and we get to maybe meet some locals. There's been several cities where I've made some decent friends, some good friends that I still communicate with in just the like month and a half that we were in those cities. So that's a good part about being able to stay in a city long enough. Where the last circus, I'm there for a week, literally like 5 or 6 days, and then we're on the rails going to the next city. So here, it's really nice that we get a chance to get a little bit more of the culture. And since Taiko's Japanese, she has a little bit more insight onto like which area is famous for what, and like, oh, this area is famous for their oysters, and this one's famous for their green tea. And so we really get a chance of that, like understanding a little bit more of that local culture and cuisine. And I'm a big eater. I love eating. So the first thing I do when I see on our schedule the next city we're going to go to, I'm like, okay, start searching. Where's the best restaurants? What kind of food they have around there? and then Taiko's like, no, I think this city's famous for like snails or not snails, but for whatever it is. And then I think, oh, I've never eaten that. Let's try it. But my first instinct is always to find like Mexican food or Western food. But yeah, I love Japanese food too. But you know, I always go for what's familiar first, and then I start to branch out once I get kind of my feel for the city.
Going back a bit, so how long ago did you start your journey into circus life, so to say? How did it all started? How did you decide one day that this is what you want to do?
I'm so glad I get a chance to talk about that on here, because I started making a video about it, and I think this video was going to take like 2 hours. So it was going to be a 2-hour video and make it a full-length feature, and I just didn't have the time. So basically, it started out, I moved to Los Angeles from Texas to be an actor. I started doing some commercials and some stunt work when I moved to California. And as an actor, naturally, I was working at a restaurant. And across the street from the restaurant was a flying trapeze school. And I thought that was interesting. I thought maybe it was like something you had to enroll in, and it was a 6-month or 1-year process. I don't know. So I went over there to get information. One thing led to another. I was taking my first class. After my first class, I got an offer to be an instructor. It's like,
wow.
What's wrong with this situation? Like, I don't know what I'm doing, and you're going to hire me? No. You've done sports before. You seem to have kind of a grasp of the simple, basic concepts, and then we teach you all the stuff as you're working here. And through that, I started to get more in touch with big training. And ironically, at the time, me and one of my best friends, we didn't have a big coach at the time, so we were going on YouTube and looking for trapeze videos. Oh, how did they do that trick? We'd watch the video and we'd come back and we'd try it, and you know, not always successful, but that's how we learned. And then we started getting more in contact with professionals and learning how to actually make a career out of it. And yeah, from there, I finally decided to give up the acting thing for a moment, really put all my energy towards this, because it was something physical and something like really adrenalizing that I enjoyed. And I put all my attention to that. I went and trained in Vegas with some professionals, and that was when I got the call to join Ringling, which is which was my first professional circus job. Wow. And then, so my professional journey started in 2014. So now it's been about 4.5 years working professionally.
When you were in Vegas, did you by any chance connect with Cirque du Soleil there at all? The main show?
I did. I gave them some money. They gave me a ticket and said I could watch the show. So it's funny. Yeah, after I watched the first show. So Mystere in Las Vegas is the only Cirque du Soleil show in the world right now that has flying trapeze.
Yes.
So and at that time I think maybe there's one other, but it was funny because as soon I went to the show and I took a photo in front of the arena and I put on Facebook, look, my first time in Cirque du Soleil, and you're like, what? You're in Cirque du Soleil? And, yeah. But Cirque du Soleil is a very unique type of circus where it involves a little bit of traditional circus, but it really takes the, like, I like to say the Hollywood approach, where it's like a lot of the budget's big. They make everything so beautiful and cutting edge, you know. So.
And it's funny because it was started here in Montreal and it was started by street performers. You know, it had such humble roots into it and what it's grown to become.
And it's amazing. I mean, and that's what it takes is like somebody thinking outside of the box and taking something that's traditional and putting a spin on it to something that people look at and say, well, that's interesting. And after it catches enough eyes, then it becomes, you know, a thing. And it grew pretty amazingly to where now every time I tell somebody I'm in a circus, like, oh, you're in Cirque du Soleil? Mm-hmm. No, I'm in a different circus. Oh, you want to be in Cirque du Soleil one day? And that's where, because they're a brand that's, you know, internationally known, whereas most individual circuses aren't. Yeah. Unless you're in the circus, you know circus, you're not going to necessarily know the names of the big circuses in Europe or America or pop circus here in Japan.
Would you think by Cirque du Soleil coming out, it kind of breathed new life into the circus, like a new interest into it? It drew it more attention than maybe the circus was getting, like, towards.
I think it did, and I think it did in a different way. And I can't speak for the families that have put their lifeblood and their generations into the traditional circus, and how Cirque du Soleil has changed or helped or hurt them. I don't know really from any personal experience on that, but I definitely see that it has brought circus and the human ability, what we do as humans, as acrobats and as jugglers, and, you know, the skill and technique that it takes to present these kind of feats. It's brought it more in mainstream, you know,
right?
Like a street performer wasn't always looked at as a noble thing. Like, oh, you're a street performer, that means you're just homeless and you got some skills, you want to try and do something on the street.
Exactly.
Well, that's not the case, you know. Like, and people, when I first started doing circus, they confused circus with carnival people, and there's nothing wrong with carnival people, but there has a negative connotation that people associate carnival people with scammers and and you know, and the bearded lady and the old time circus. And yeah, that was old circus, but, you know, circus has evolved so much since then that it's you know, you have a Cirque du Soleil, which is a completely different type, but still incorporates a lot of that traditional circus.
Well, the skill that you do, I mean, is second to none. I mean, that is, it's monumental is probably the lightest word I can think of to describe it. I mean, the physical ability into it, the timing. I mean, I would say, you know, very few people in the world that can pull this off. It's an elite skill, if you will.
It really is. And, you know, I feel like I downplay it sometimes because I'm actually doing it. I mean, I look at professional football or basketball or any of these professional sports, I'm like, man, the skills that they have, I can imagine that. And then when people tell us that what we do is like elite, it kind of brings me back to like, wow, I look back at the journey that it took to get here, and, you know, the hard work, the work ethic I have now is probably similar to the work ethic of a professional footballer or a professional athlete. You know, the training and the diets and the mental preparation that we do as acrobats and other performers is very similar to that of, or maybe even more than that of elite athletes in other sports. So, you know, it is interesting that it's kind of it's such a weird way for me to like sit back and see where I am now versus where I thought where I thought it was when I was just an instructor. You know, I didn't think that I would be one of those people that I was watching in the audience, like, wow, that's amazing watching, you know?
Well, yeah, and I mean, on top of it, and no disrespect, I mean this with complete honors, you're not going to walk away after 3 years with $70 million US to back you up if you injure yourself, all these things that come with it. Nobody can ever take away the passion you have for what you're doing, and I'm not saying you're not making a decent living at it, but you know what I mean? That, to me, earns more props for what you do because of the chances, the risk, the talent, the sweat and tears, the training, the diet, all these things. Not having that kind of backing that some of them have, you know, that really means more to me. It's more noble, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. I truly believe that to do what you do, and you know, in this market. So I think that speaks more volumes about character and a love for something.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, without that stability of having a retirement account like the company provides, or paid work day, or paid days off, or all those things, people look at you still like you're some kind of circus freak, you know? And the reality is, you know, like you just said, like I was saying, like we put just as much or more time and effort and more sacrifice into it than most of the 9-to-5 jobs. And I don't want to go the wrong way where people are taking that as a knock to a 9-to-5. I did that, and many people are really good at it, but what we do is definitely a unique thing, and unless you invest for your future, then you know that's not going to be there for you. You have to not only be smart with the way that you train and practice and perform, but if you want to have kids, if you want to have pets, if you potentially get injured, like all these different factors you have to think about, your company is not necessarily providing for you. So it makes you, as an individual, have to learn those things about working well.
Well, it is. I mean, you're your own boss when it's said and done. I mean, you know, but I think, you know, you've kind of nailed it. And I think your videos, once they really do take off, and I think you're just a hair away from really, that's why I'm glad. You're one of the other ones I say every now and then. I'm glad we got you on now before you explode and there's no time to catch you. I think you're going to even you're going to inspire some new kids to kind of look into what you're doing. I truly do. I believe that.
I really hope so. I mean, that's the feeling I love. That's the reason I became a performer. I don't think I became a performer. I think I was naturally a performer, but what keeps me inspired and motivated to keep performing is when I go see a movie or whenever I go see a performance, and you get that visceral feeling of amazement or excitement or laughter or sadness that somebody's performance gives you. Like they change that inside you.
Yes.
And some to an extent where you just decide, you know what, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to go do this thing because you're so inspired by that performance. And it changes, it like kind of directs you into the passion that you didn't know you had.
Right.
Like when people give me responses and even just the videos like that, they're inspired or they're amazed. I don't want to be just a famous hero. I want to be a person who gives that feeling that I get when I watch a performance, you know? And so I think about that every time I go on stage. I think about that every time I perform circus. But as with the videos too, I think about how can I make these videos in a way that's not just like, oh, Ryan, you're so good. Oh, your editing is lovely. It's beautiful. No, I want them to see it and be like, wow, that's really cool. I'm going to see if there's a circus in my town. That was amazing. Or, wow, they have a cool dog. Maybe I want a dog too. You know?
Yeah.
Or, you know, something on that level that is not just worshiping me for being on the camera, but for the message, you know? And like I said, that's the biggest part of performing that I wish everybody had that, but for me, that's what drives me more than like fame and more than like $1 million or 1 million subscribers. If I had 1 million subscribers and they were all happily inspired by me rather than like, oh, I'm just subscribing because he's famous, well, I don't think I would really be I would probably not have my channel. Because I know I'm not affecting people the way that I like to be affected when I watch other people.
Right. Know? I think you do that too, and I think it's good that you do a well-rounded. If you do good vlogs, it just draws people in that much more to get your message. And it's nice that you show a well-rounded view because you bring in travel, culture, what you do. It's the whole package. And I think that's more enticing to people than maybe if it had been just, not that it's not amazing what you do, but it's that whole mix of everything that really makes it such a viewable package. You know what I'm saying? And that is a better chance of bringing people into as well. We had a guy on the other night who plays guitar, and he's a great talker, and he talks about everything. If he just got up, okay, we're going to play guitar for an hour, you know what's going to happen. The guitar guys will sit there and watch him, and the other ones will tend to fade away. But because he's broad and also includes the guitar, it keeps people. It's a good retaining tool. And I think that's what you do with your vlogs. You keep it very well-rounded for everybody.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
No. Well, they're good. They are enticing, and there's some fun, some stuff like, I got to ask you. I got to ask you about this one before we go any further. I have to ask you about the Japanese used panty vending machine. I cannot resist any longer. I usually try to wait till longer, but you know what? Let's discuss.
You just jumped right into it.
No
warnings.
I did because I've been trying to be good for the last half hour, and I wanted to
beat the rating out or something now.
So that idea, when I had heard that Japan was famous for vending machines, and I heard that the ratio of vending machines to people is like 1 to 23 or something incredible. I don't know exact ratio right now, but I said, well, that'd be interesting. I want to go make a video about vending machines in Tokyo. And we were close enough to Tokyo and the city we were working that I said, Taiko, let's go do that. And she's like, okay. Akihabara is the place that has the most unique vending machines. And I said, do you think, I heard this thing that maybe they have like panty vending machines. And she's like, I don't know. I don't know. So I started researching a little bit, and people say yes, people say no. I said, well, let's go hunting. Let's go find these things. And it started out sounds kind of creepy, right? But it started out as just like a very curious thing. And so we were going everywhere, and I didn't know where to look. And then so I started Googling, oh, wow, somebody found one. But it's an adult video store. And so after I found it, and I was like, how the feeling I had in there was not exactly what I was expecting it to feel. It was weird, first of all, to be in a video store making a video, but another thing to be in there like as a spectator and not a customer. Like, I guess I would usually not go into a store if I wasn't planning on buying something. I wouldn't go into a sports store if I wasn't thinking about buying clothes, right?
Right.
If I'm not a chef, I'm probably not going to go into a store to buy cooking utensils unless it's a specific, anyway. So anyway, we go in there, and after I get the footage and I started putting it together, I'm like, this is kind of, I don't know if I want my channel to be about this. And I also thought, well, maybe it's going to look bad on the circus. Maybe it's going to look bad on my family or anybody that, like, what is he doing? He's in Japan and he's looking for dirty panties. And so I made the first video, which was just about the unique vending machines that we found. And so we put that one up, and then that one caught the algorithm, I guess, and a lot of people liked it. And I said, well, people are really interested. And then some people started writing in the comments, well, where's the dirty panties? Like, you guys are really in dirty panties? I said, I have all that footage. And I said, well, maybe I'll try and take some of the footage that I used in the first video and some of the a lot of the footage I didn't use, and try and make a whole different experience. And so that's how that video came about. It was really a second thought. And even posting it, you see me like really awkward and still wasn't good on camera at the time. I'm like, so yeah, I'm going to make this video. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, please check out my other videos. Cause
I do other stuff.
And I didn't know the reaction, and I didn't think that people would be like really interested, but I guess it's like me. I had the curiosity at first. It wasn't out of some sick perversion. It was just something out of curiosity. Like, is this really a thing? And then I was able to find a way to present it that it was. So,
well, yeah, I mean, everybody has that, and I think wherever you go, they're going to be, it's there's always those little off the wall things, that people we're curious by human nature. So, of course, when I see it, I'm like, what? Okay, let's screen this one and see what it is. So it was quite entertaining. You actually did a good job of it, though. You kept it fun. You know, you didn't oversell it like to turn into a shocking video. It was more like a laugh, you know, like, but well done. I thought you presented in a good way.
I didn't even know that's the thing up until I went to Tokyo Truth's live stream and they were talking about all of this thing. I was like, what? And like, this is a thing?
Yeah. And
it's crazy.
When we were there was nobody looking at those machines except us, and maybe because I'm a bigger presence in Japan than most people, and they were like, I don't want to go near that guy, or maybe they thought I was trying to buy something, whatever. Nobody was using those machines, but like half of them were sold out, so like there's definitely a market for it apparently.
And it was written in English too. I noticed the sold out was written in English.
Yeah, and I wonder if they were really sold out, or how much they stock those machines, or if it's just a novelty. But in any case, they exist, and so we've covered that myth.
Well, hey, it's always good to do something different. Once again, that niche, you don't want to go too far in that niche, but it's great to bring it to your channel. I think it was really well done. I think it was funny, and like I say, it was lighthearted. You know, it wasn't, because some will do that and it will be like the God help us, the Jake Paul style, like trying to freak everybody out, make everything. You didn't do that. You had a laugh with it, and I thought you did a good job. So,
thank you.
What was
I try to keep a little bit of class in every video, even though even though it may not seem that way sometimes. My parents are from the Midwest. I grew up in the South, so I have a lot of those like manners and etiquette upbringing that I feel a little bad whenever even though I'm an adult and I have my own morals and I have my mantra is a little bit different than the way I grew up, I still, like, in my core, I have those things that keep me from sniffing the dirty panties. That's a good analogy.
That's a very good analogy. I think we're going to go back, though, now. We'll start talking a little bit about growing up and that. We had talked about it earlier a bit. And just kind of, I always put this as an open-ended question. You know, you can start where you want. If you want to start in high school, middle school, elementary, kindergarten, wherever you feel comfortable. And just a little bit about growing up in Texas and that for to everybody here. Just a bit of a background on yourself.
Okay. Well, I was born in Arizona. And when I was about 1.5 years old, I told my parents that we should move. Not true. I don't know what happened. And I was moved to Texas when I was about 2 years old. And from kindergarten through high school, all the same schooling. So I grew up in the same small town around the same people, knew the same friends all the way till I was ready to go to college.
Wow.
And the town is north of Dallas. It's not a country town, but it's not urban either. So so we're kind of, anyway, there wasn't a lot of diversity. There wasn't a lot of diversity there. So I grew up very sheltered, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I moved to California when I was 25 that I was walking down the street and I saw this American-looking person, and then they started speaking French, and I was like, "What is that? Why aren't they speaking English?" And a 25-year-old couldn't wrap his mind around there are other languages in the world, and you just haven't experienced really any of them. And it was kind of a culture shock, but it was a cool realization, like the world is so much bigger. And just by seeing that, and then of course living in Los Angeles, where there's just a lot of culture and a lot of diversity, I met so many different people. My first roommate out there was Polish, and then my other roommate was Greek. And so I got a chance to really learn the cultures and learn diversity. And at an older age of 25, I still hadn't even traveled outside of the country.
Wow.
But I guess growing up in Texas, in the area I grew up, the most important thing was high school football. So I learned early on, like, sports. My parents told me sports were going to be the thing that would keep you busy, you know, keep you doing something and active. But then I started finding that I was doing pretty good at it. That was also the time that the Dallas Cowboys were winning Super Bowls, so naturally I gravitated towards football. And yeah, so most of my growing up was just playing sports. playing sports, being a kid, running up and down the streets, getting pushed down, pushing kids down, racing bikes, coming in after dark. You know, I played the occasional video games, but you know, it was just being outside, being rowdy, learning things by getting bruises, you know. And I was never like a super daredevil who would just do stupid, crazy things, but I like to experiment, and I like that adrenaline. And I think that kind of ties in with the career I've chosen, is that I get that adrenaline and that excitement every time I get up there on the trapeze, because it's not a natural instinct to be 30 feet above the ground, you know?
Exactly.
And so I think that ties a lot in. And then also as a kid, when I was playing sports, I wasn't always the best, but when I did well, I would try and find a way to make the audience, the people watching, my parents' friends, or my friends' parents, and my friends and my parents, I would try to make them laugh or entertain them in the audience by doing something silly, you know, or whatever. And then I didn't realize that attitude that I was doing, and then would lead me into performing.
Right.
My parents said, you just naturally always want the spotlight. And they said, why is it? Why do you just want attention? Is it just because you have too much energy? Why is it that you always want the attention or the spotlight? And I said, because that's the best way I can give like excitement to people.
Right.
Like if nobody can see me, then nobody's gonna be inspired or excited by what I'm doing, right? And that was the first time my mom and dad looked at me and said, maybe you should look into performing.
Wow.
That was the epiphany that I had, I think, before I went to college, to decide that, yeah, maybe performing is something that just I have inside me. And that came from sports. And I'm glad I had the sports background, because that's what gave me the athleticism and taught me a lot of the discipline. So and that's basically where my background has brought me. And it's interesting how all those things tie together.
It is. So you had no like gymnastics in like growing up, high school or anything like that? Because I was wondering for trapeze. That's what I was going to ask you.
No, and you know, it was something that I always wanted to do. And gymnastics was an individual sport, and I think it was a bit more expensive than putting us into team sports, where, right, you know, yeah. So I think I remember seeing the gymnasts in the Olympics and watching them on TV. I'm like, those guys are so muscular, and they can do flips. I want to do that. And I never really got the chance to do that until I found the trapeze school. I was like, oh, cool. I'm 25 years old, but I always want to do a flip. Maybe I can learn how to do a flip on this thing. And so I learned how to do that. And
I like that.
And there's also a difference between what I do as a trapeze artist and what Taiko and my other teammates do. So you have the flyer, and then you have the catcher. And obviously the catcher is the one that catches the flyer after they've done the trick. So generally you'll find that the flyers are the ones that are more acrobatic and more like gymnastically inclined, because they're the ones doing a lot more of the tumbling stuff,
right,
the somersault, twist. Whereas the catcher, I'm just watching everything and I'm trying to catch it at the best time. I'm trying to make sure that I catch them safely and softly. So what I do isn't necessarily as acrobatic as what they do, but many of the people in my position started out as a flyer first and then transitioned to being a catcher.
Really?
Which is, I kind of, when I first started as a trapeze artist in the school as an instructor, I wanted to be a flyer. I liked doing the flips. I liked doing the somersaults, and I started doing trampoline a lot so I could learn how to twist and all these cool things. And it was so much fun for me. But at the, as I got older, or as I progressed in it, I realized my size was going to be a little more difficult to be a flyer, because as a flyer, generally you want to be around the 130 to 140 pound weight range,
right? Because
it makes it easier for the catcher, you know.
True.
And the catcher should be usually a little bigger, and this makes it easier for that whole transition to happen, or the situation to happen. And I realized at that time I was 180 pounds, 185. It was gonna be difficult for me to make a career out of that unless I was just super good. And I felt with my background and everything, I was naturally better at catching things than I was at like doing the tumbling stuff.
That is so amazing. And I mean, you have somebody's, I mean, it's such an important job. I mean, you know, they're literally, I know there's the net, but I mean, just the responsibility into it is unbelievable when you sit and think about it for a moment. You know, you're responsible for catching another human being who comes tumbling 40 feet in the air. And at the right time, I mean, everything is down to the last second.
And a lot of it, because the flyer, if you've seen some of the videos, for the audience that's watching this, if you've seen any of these trapeze videos, you'll see a lot of times the flyer will do the trick and they won't necessarily see, they'll just have their hands ready and the catcher will catch them. So the flyer doesn't always see where the catcher is. And so that's a big responsibility for the catcher to make sure that when that flyer is coming to you, that you don't hit them in the wrong way that can send them disorienting to the net. And even if you land the net the wrong way, it can be very bad. So, so there's a big responsibility in that respect with being a catcher, is that you have to know when and where to be at the right time, because if you're not, you can hurt them or hurt yourself. It's it's funny because I was just showing, somebody was asking me about one of my vlogs the other day, and it was the one where we went to a baseball game, and my whole face is, I got a black eye, I got a swollen nose, and and everybody in the comments are asking what happened, and that was from a trapeze practice that I made a mistake and I got in the wrong place at the wrong time. And fortunately for the flyer, it was the back of their head, but it was the front of mine. And so for 2 weeks, I looked like a zombie or like Sloth from Goonies. It was, yeah. So it can be a bad situation if anybody's not paying attention. And especially for me, because I'm the one staring at it the whole time, I have the most responsibility to see what's happening and make adjustments if I need to.
It is, and like, you know, I almost struggled with this before we talked. I'm like, how much do I go into it? Because I never want to psych somebody out for the gig. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, I know you're going to be on today, and I'm like, should I be even asking these questions? I don't want to think about it too much, so I'm like kind of letting you gauge where we can go today.
Yeah, we had. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
We had last year, I remember, was a huge thing on the news when one of the French aerialists actually passed away because as a result of you know, the wrongfully gone performance, unfortunately. And that's what I was thinking today when I was preparing for the interview. I'm like, oh my god, because that's I just remembered right on how like it was all across, because everybody was so shocked. But I think we don't, oftentimes when we go to things like circus, you know, we admire everything that's going on, and because it's so beautiful, you kind of don't think past that and to actual appreciation of responsibility and difficulty of everything what's going on, where everything is just a millisecond, you know, from the end of somebody's life. You know, you don't really think about that, but it's crazy how much responsibility is in your hands, literally.
Yeah, and I remember the day that happened with that performer, and I made a response video for it, and I talked to my team here, and we wanted to dedicate that show to him and his family. And my point about my whole purpose with the video was to, like I was saying before, bring circus to the forefront of people's attention, but to also let them know, like, what we do it at a high level, but what we do has such a high risk with it, you know. And people, like you said, they see it, it's beautiful when it's done correctly, it's amazing, right? But when things go wrong, they can go really wrong, you know. And there's not always a safety net there for certain acts, you know. And I think that's taken for granted across the board. And I'm not going to generalize and say everybody, but a lot of people, they come to the show and they're amazed and their breath is taken away, but they also don't necessarily realize the consequences if that miss really does happen, you know.
That's right.
Because more often than not, the miss doesn't. It's a successful trick and it's a successful performance, and so you're relieved that thing that took your breath away was a success. But people really don't necessarily take that step back to see, like, what if it went wrong? What would really happen? You know, would the person just fall down and break their ankle, or could something more serious happen? And then we see that, and then we saw that with that performer, and it's horribly heartbreaking to see that, because it brings the reality to people's eyes. Like, wow, that risk is it's 100%, or you know, it can be fatal.
But does it bring it to the audience, or did it, like, does it kind of reiterate it with you guys as well?
Well, I think for most performers, when we do what we do, we know inherently it comes with that risk.
Right.
And if we want to be at the top of our game and we want to be elite in what we do, there's going to be that inherent risk. So it's not like a surprise, and I don't think as performers we take that for granted. As much as an audience member usually maybe, I'll generalize and say, I think audience members more often take that for granted than performers, because we know when we're getting to, we know all the practice, all the times we practice this one trick and all the times that it's gone wrong. Well, then you start to take the safety lines off and say, we're going to do this thing full speed. And, you know, when that happens and then something goes wrong, one little mistake or one little glitch, then that can end up as something that you're not prepared for, you know.
You take off your safety lines. Do you actually do performances without them?
Right, all of our performances are without safety.
Practicing,
but we're practicing something. Yeah, but when we're practicing something new and difficult, for example, Taiko, she just did her double somersault. When she starts working on her triple somersault, she'll probably wear the safety lines for a second, so that she can understand where that third rotation is, when to open up, and then where she can find the net safe. And of course, she's going to do that many, many times to the net before I even go over there and try and catch it. She'll do it probably 1,000,000 times in the safety lines, take the lines off, do it another 1,000,000 times, and then when she's 100% confident, I'm 100% confident, then that's the only time when I'll line up and we'll try and make a go at it. But, you know, there's the process to get to this elite level. It's not just watching a YouTube video, going and doing it. You know, there's the dedication, there's a lot of conditioning that is involved with even building the strength to do those things.
Well, I guess we'll just segue into it quickly to Taiko. What got her into the circus?
Taiko, do you want to be involved in this? Yes or no? Yeah?
Sure.
Would you like to ask Taiko?
I'd love to. It'd be your honor.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a real pleasure.
Excited.
Well, you are. Start off by saying you are phenomenal talent, man. I think you've blown everybody away in the chat just watching what you do. It's incredible that the both of you guys, such talent between the two of you. We were just talking about how we were wondering how you got into doing the trapeze and that. If you could tell us a little bit.
How did you start trapeze?
How
did you start trapeze? You were an aerialist first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what got you into that at first? Like, did you study it in school, like growing up, like gymnastics or stuff?
First gymnastics, like 9 year I do gymnastics, and after I changed, go to China, study circus school.
Mm-hmm.
And well, what is China? Are they have better? Was there a better school, or is there a reason why you picked China to study there?
Because in Japan no have circus school, so I go over there have school.
It's a really good school too.
Yeah.
Really?
So, if she's gonna train, might as well train at one of the best ones you can find. You know.
Exactly. I didn't know, and like she was just saying, like I didn't know that Japan didn't have any schools. That's interesting as well. So. I think in traveling around the country, I found 2 trapeze schools. Okay.
And one is south of Tokyo and one is near Nagoya, I believe. So, but aside from that, it's not like in the States where you have an aerial school or a circus school or a trapeze school or trampoline schools everywhere. You know, it's very, very rare here.
Wow.
Well, I think it's something until you look for, even for us here, even like in Montreal and Cirque du Soleil and all those things. Like I've started to see these places that I've never even knew existed the whole time they were there. And it seems like you don't know these schools are there until you go looking for them. All of a sudden you realize they are, and they're well accredited. They have great things going, but just unless it comes up, in conversation or you're specifically looking for it. So that's really interesting. How long did you spend in China?
How long were you in China?
3 years.
3 years. And did you like living in China at the time as well as the school? It must have been a big culture shock.
So different in Japan, but school is really good.
Yeah.
Because everything we get in the school and have cafeteria. We eat over there and.
It's like a live-in kind of school, right?
Mm.
So she not only learned the gymnastics there, but it was kind of like dorms she stayed in there.
Oh.
Everybody.
And was it people from all over, or was it mostly Chinese people at the school, or?
Yes,
it was all Chinese, right?
Chinese. Yeah.
Oh, really? So you had to learn Chinese at the same time, or did you?
Yes, after.
And how was that? Was it hard to learn Chinese?
Really hard. Start like 6 or 8 months. I cannot speak Chinese. Nothing. I don't understand.
Wow.
Yeah, we lose it quite quickly when we don't use it. That's true. Wow.
It's a hard language, even because there's no association really between Japanese and Chinese. It's a completely different system altogether for language. So. And not an easy language to learn. You are you're so talented with it. Were you always interested, even when you were a kid? Did you want to be in the circus or do like gymnastics that way? Like, was that something you seen when you were young?
Yeah, I do gymnastics. I wanna. My dream is go Olympic.
Right.
And after broke knee.
Yeah.
My knee broken.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh,
no.
Kind of changed the plans.
Change the plan.
Oh.
And that was when you found like the circus stuff you could do. Also, it wasn't as grueling as the tumbling was, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Was it a part of a performance that it happened, if I may ask?
Did you hurt your knee during a performance or training, or?
No, I find that in Japan, street performer, one guy.
Okay.
And I asked him and how you run this kind of stuff, and he self run. In Japan, have one small school, but I go over there and try, and these people say better go another country to run.
Really?
Yeah, I can. And this one guy tell me in China you can learn have school, and just he tell me one name. I go China. I ask Chinese people, you know that this name school, and I go find it.
And then
That's awesome.
For practice. That happened.
Practice before 1 week competition.
1 week before the competition.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So sorry.
Was that the competition in Canada?
No, in Japan is big competition.
Okay. But you competed in Canada, right? They're from Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Wow.
You're watching from Canada too.
Which city were you in Canada?
Canada, we Abbotsford.
What? Abbotsford?
Yeah, Abbotsford City.
Oh, you were in the western part, I think.
Oh.
Yes, I believe I know what you're talking about. Wow. So you really, that's not the usual. I've never even been there. So you've seen somewhere in Canada I haven't seen. So
there's the question, how long have you been doing gymnastics?
About 9 years. 9
years.
Wow.
And you started, like, you were fairly young when you started. How old were you when you started gymnastics?
They're trying to ask you how old you are.
Like 7 or 8 years old.
Wow. And
she is not 17 though, so let me just make that clear.
Oh, you're something else. You guys.
We have a question that I think would be fun to ask to both of you from the male and female perspective. What does it take to, like, what is your daily routine to be in a shape all the time and to be able to do these kind of performances? Yeah. And I'm sure there's some differences between how you both do it. What is it you do to maintain yourself to be ready to perform all the time?
So, well, for me, I always eat breakfast. I know like that's really important for me to get energy to start the day. We have one, sometimes to 3 shows a day. And so in the show, I'm only working 10 minutes, but for that 10 minutes, it's like a sprint and you have to be prepared. So 5 or 6 days a week, I'll be training weights. I'll try and get some cardio in. Some cities I'm more motivated than others, depending on what's around, what there's to run around. I don't like running that much, but that's the best way for me to do cardio. So those are the main things for me. I don't watch my diet as much. Sometimes I do when I feel a little sluggish or I feel like I'm getting slow because my body's not reacting the way I need it to.
Right.
But for my position as a catcher, it's not important that I'm super skinny and super lean, you know. It's better that I carry a little extra weight. That way my strength doesn't suffer because I need as much strength as possible. So my routine is eating a lot as much as I can. And yeah, training weights as well as we do trapeze practice more than any other trapeze troupe in the world. We get like 5 or 6 days a week of practice, which is incredible. And those practices are an hour, sometimes just an hour and a half long.
That must
really time. It gives us the time to like work on what we're working on, but it helps the conditioning for what we're doing. You know, sometimes when there's a big holiday in Japan, we'll work 25 shows or 22 shows in 1 week, and so that's a heavy load. And if your body's not prepared for it because you're not conditioned in practice or you're physically not ready, then it's going to suffer. And then we go back to talking about that risk we were talking about earlier. You just put yourself and you put everybody else in a little bit more risk if your body's not prepared for that kind of work.
It must be draining though. I mean, because like you talk about that adrenaline, you know, as you do the show and stuff. So you must have that adrenaline at some level, even during the practices going on as well. And if you're doing them for an hour and a half at a time, it must be draining physically and mentally.
It is, and I think it's like anything. If you go stand on a third story balcony and you look over the edge, the first couple times you do it, it's going to look high and it's going to be disorienting because you're not familiar with that height. After you do that for a week or a year, you're looking down, you understand that height, you understand that depth and how far that space is that you have between you and earth, you know?
Right.
So we do that with trapeze, and we understand from my position to the net and then the net to the ground where that spatial difference is, and you don't get comfortable, but you get familiar with it. And it's extremely important to get familiar with it, because if I go to work on a different trapeze, there might be a different space between where my swing is and where the net is, and the same thing where the net is and where the floor is. And so those can play illusions with you. If I'm like, for example, in Mystere in Las Vegas, their whole system is a bit higher above the floor.
Right.
You know, so that's going to play a difference in what you're seeing. But now that I've been here for 3.5 years, I'm really familiar with that space. So I don't get the adrenaline fear. I get the adrenaline excitement of performing. So the practice, it's not as much. I wouldn't even say it's really adrenaline. It's more excitement and curiosity to, like, because that's where you explore things and you experiment and you grow. In the show, you're doing what you've already done. You know what you're doing. You're prepared for it. Right. So it's nothing new. And for me, I don't get nervous when I go into a show because I know I prepared properly.
Right.
So that adrenaline of performing, and I know that what I do is influencing the audience and entertaining, and that's where my adrenaline comes from. It's not so much from the fear or the height of what I'm doing or where I'm at. It's for what I'm presenting.
Yeah, feeding off the audience energy as well and stuff like that. You can feel it in the crowd, the hush, the awe, and then the celebration thing. It's got to be exhilarating. And Taiko, what do you want to talk about? How you prepare, like your exercises that you do to keep as a flyer?
How can I say?
You're stretching. You're conditioning.
I'm everyday stretching. This is very important for flyer.
Yep.
And for aerialists.
And
is there a special diet that you have to follow?
No, I don't do diet. I like whatever I want to eat, I eat.
He's one of those lucky humans that got genetics that allow her to eat popcorn and chocolate.
This is my favorite.
I think everybody kind of was thinking that you probably barely eat, lettuce.
She eats a lot, but we also eat good meals. Yeah. We eat at restaurants quite a bit, so she's eating legitimate food too, and not just junk food. And even though every time we go to the mall, she has to get a tub of popcorn. She does well though.
Is there things that you can't do, like that are forbidden as part of being a circus troupe, or in general, like in order to do what you're doing?
Forbidden? Oh, that's a good question. Are you talking in terms of like with YouTube or with like our personal lives, or? Well,
in general, I'm not sure if there are any set of rules. Like, sometimes when you're part of a theater play, or if you are, I don't know, like a pop star, there are things that you can't or you can do.
Okay,
I'm sure part of a group might be something practical or less practical, some kind of rules that you have to follow. So I just was curious if there is something out of the ordinary that you have to follow.
I wouldn't say there's anything out of the ordinary. One thing that I have found as a bit of a restriction, that it kind of prevents me from making some of the YouTube videos I want to make, is that the image that we have, first of all, in Japan as a whole, image is important. It's very important.
Yes.
Of how you present yourself, how you act around people, how you act in public. That's the whole culture is based on like everybody taking care of everybody else, so it's not about me being selfish, and we saw that in the Logan Paul videos. We don't have to go there, but the whole culture is about the image, and they want it they want you to present yourself as the best person. That's why Japanese people are raised with like the best manners. And here in the circus is no different. When we go outside of the circus, we are representing the circus. Right. When I make YouTube videos, I'm in an indirect way, I'm a reflection of the circus, because my videos kind of tie into them. Mm-hmm. And even though I don't directly promote or advertise that this is every video where I work, it has that connection. And so it has been a bit of a restriction for me on certain things that I can and can't video or post because of that factor,
Were you worried about that? That's what I was going to ask about, and not that it offended me in any way, but I was wondering about that because I know the culture, and that about the panty video, for instance. That's what was my follow-up question a while ago. Were you worried that might cause any friction, like with the circus itself?
A little bit, but at the same time, I was still so new into vlogging that I don't think that they had even picked up on the fact that I was making videos for YouTube.
Right.
And that early in my YouTubing, I don't think I even showed the circus. I didn't show their name. I didn't show where we were, and I didn't want to bring their brand into it in case they found things that were opposition to my messages.
Yeah. So
I kind of tried to keep them separate. And then as the circus started finding out that, oh, he's got some interesting stuff, I felt like I had a little bit more of their support behind me. So I started incorporating their name, and I incorporated a little bit more of their message into like my videos. But
right.
But back then, I don't think it wasn't really as much of a concern as it was for me, thinking like, I'm putting something kind of, has nothing to do with the circus niche that I'm trying to build my channel around. I'm in a channel, and a lot of the other creators are saying, no, build around your niche first, then get into the general world.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, Japanese panty machine has nothing to do with circus. How can I tie that in? And I couldn't. But I found that the Japanese culture was more of a market that was capturing people's attention.
Yes.
That I used that angle to bring them into circus rather than circus to bring to everyone else.
Well said.
And now I've found that, and I think mainly in collaborating with a couple other YouTubers, Eric Surf 6, Tokyo Drew, and Paul from Cripple Leaks Japan, those guys do a lot of stuff about food and food reviews and the different places they go. And it was pretty coincidental because at the time I was trying to create a series for my channel about all the restaurants, because I love going to different places to eat and showing the different things that we eat. And it's also a way for me to remember, if I go back to a city, what was that place that had the really good hamburgers?
Yes.
Oh, I can look it up, and I have a video about it now. So like that is a huge niche that I really want to tap into more of this next year, because it's something I really love. It's something I'm passionate about. It's something Taiko really likes too. And we go out to eat a lot anyway. So
right.
why not continue to use that as another way to bring people into the circus? And I'm finding a lot now in the comments, especially with the last video I just posted this morning, was that people like the food, but they would have never found our channel had it not been from the food aspect, And they're like, oh, cool. And you guys do trapeze, you guys do circus. That's interesting. So
smart.
This is one of those niches that it's important to know the niche of trapeze and circus, but just going from that point, it's a very hard road to expand. So we got to kind of pull from these other things that are still exciting and interesting to us to bring that and bring it all back to the central core of what my original plan was, is just to bring circus and expose circus on a broader level, And I think we're doing that, and it's slowly starting to gain a little momentum. And I think it's a big part of all the help that I've been getting from these other YouTubers that have been really kind of taking me under their wings, and just like you guys giving me this platform to share this really amazing thing that we do with people that may not have ever been able to search for us, So
well, I was actually just looking.
Really appreciate this opportunity, and also for those guys that have collabed with us. Any other collaborators out in Japan that are interested, we would love to look into seeing what we can do with you guys as well. And obviously our time is our time, but this is the exciting part about this community and how we want to share our message and our niche with other people.
I agree. I was actually just looking at your numbers. You're closing in on 3,400. You've been getting a lot of people checking you out tonight. So,
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah,
Didn't notice that.
Yeah. I was just checking.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and it's exposure, and that's been kind of our goal, especially the second season. Now we're reaching out more to people that we don't see day to day, and just keep adding to that, because it's the best way to grow is to keep reaching outside of your comfort zone. It's good to have your core, but you also need to reach out as well and start, appealing to more and more new people. It's important for everybody. So like when we found a channel like yours, thanks once again to Drew Tokyo. I can't thank him enough, and who will be on with us in the not too far future. You guys is just that amazing stuff that I go to. Xenia comes to me or I go to her, and we're like, hey, you're not gonna guess who we just found here. We gotta get in touch with them. We gotta get them on.
And I think that's the best part. One of the best parts of having these shows is to be able to see so many amazing people with amazing lives out there, like yours guys. It's something that without YouTube probably we would have never be aware. I mean, yes, it's happening, but it's it's not so deeply involved. So being able to talk with you both like today, it's amazing, to get to know the other side of something so exciting. It's
you said it exactly. I mean, people wouldn't necessarily be aware of it. When you see a flyer that says the circus is coming to town, but you don't think twice about it unless you have a personal relationship with circus or with somebody that does circus, and until YouTube gives you this platform and this community to share that, now people might take a second look at that flyer when it comes to their town saying there's a circus in town. Oh yeah, I just saw that video on Puša Studios about the circus people.
That's right.
Maybe they go check it out, and then they find they have a love or appreciation or a different respect for it than they had before.
Yeah, we had a JCTV. He's a dad of two boys, and he's came in. He said, "Oh, my son now wants to fly," because they are awesome. Watching the interview. So there you go. You're inspired at least one youngster.
That is so.
Yes,
that's a rewarding feeling when you hear something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I don't want to self-promote, but I do want to let the people that are watching, if you guys are looking for a circus school or a place to learn how to do some of this stuff, feel free to DM me on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll help look around and see if there's something in your town that can potentially you can go train at, because I like putting people in touch with my passions. And obviously there's not much in Japan, but I know there's a lot in America. I know a ton of places in the United States. I know a few in Canada, and Australia and Europe too. So just through the community, if you guys, it's something that you guys want to get into, if this gentleman wants to take his child there, by all means, I would love to see that or help it happen.
That's amazing, guys. I just put the link for Twitter in the chat, but also all the social media for Ryan are available in the description of the video. So guys, if you are interested or you want to DM or connect with collabs or any questions, all is there. So check that out.
I have a question for Taiko. I want to ask you, were your parents, when you first told your parents that your family that you wanted to do trapeze, were they nervous? Did they were they supporting you to do it?
Trapeze?
Yeah.
Circus.
I say I want to try circus. My mama is okay, but my father, what? Why you wanna try circus? You do the gymnastics, it's fine. It's continue gymnastics. No circus. No, I wanna try and let me try. I pushed for my father.
Was he scared because you're going, like, especially with the trapeze, you're up so high and everything,
and because nobody knows circus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they automatically look at it as something scary or dangerous or abnormal.
And plus, is not here if something happens in another country, and he cannot help to.
He just didn't want to see his baby leave the country.
Well, that's it, exactly. Because I'm looking at Taiko. I have 3 children, and my youngest is the daughter. And I'm looking at Taiko, and I'm thinking of my daughter comes to me and says, "I want to go into trapeze." And I love what you guys do, but I think every father is right away as their first instinct is.
I would be terrified. Have they ever seen you perform like live in a live performance?
Your parents watch you perform?
Yes, of course. Mm-hmm.
Wow. They are brave parents.
And once you do it, I mean, it's not that it's a bad thing. I think it's just an inherent, every parent right away,
Yes.
It's a natural instinct right away. Oh, that's dangerous. Don't do that. Don't do that.
The scary part of it.
Yeah.
And after a while, it's just like we were saying with what we do. After a while, they get used to it. It becomes familiar. It's not such a crazy idea.
No, exactly, and that's the part of and being patient with them to adjust to it probably as well, and then let them see it the way you see it later on. I'm sure it comes.
Oh, I didn't tell you, but like while we're talking about this, I just remembered the very first text message I sent to my mom when I got the first contract with Ringling Brothers. I was also contracted to do the motorcycle on the high wire. So naturally, I sent this message to my mom. Guess what? I got a contract doing motorcycle on a high wire.
Wow.
Immediately, she calls me and she's like, "What? What are you talking about? What does that mean?" She couldn't comprehend that those two words ever would go together, like high wire and motorcycle.
I can imagine.
And then on top of that, the fact that I was getting a circus contract, like that, she knew I was doing trapeze. But yeah, so that was a funny reaction just to have her. And I didn't even know until 2 weeks before that I would be doing motorcycle on a high wire either. But
wow.
I can only imagine my mother's like.
Oh yeah. So what was it like?
Oh, that was fun. It was fun. I mean, I've ridden motorcycles for quite a bit, so that part is pretty easy. Balancing on the high wire is there's a little bit of technique that's involved, but it's not as dangerous as you would think. The motorcycles that drive around in the globe is much more skill and much more dangerous than what I did.
Really?
But, but it's still a pretty cool trick. It was a pretty fun act, and with trapeze, you're a team thing, and with that, it was more of like the spotlight's on you. So everything that happens, whether it's good or bad, is on you. So that was unusual for me to be like the spotlight, you know.
And how long did you do that for?
I was with the last circus for about a year and a half.
Really?
And with that circus, I was doing a little bit of trapeze, but my passion was really to do trapeze fully. And so when this contract came up and they offered me a job here to work in this circus, and I would be full-time trapeze, I said that would be much more fun for me.
Did you ever try
Japan.
Did you ever try the globe?
No, I've never had the opportunity. I would like to, I think. I don't think I would like to do it with other motorcycles in there. Yeah. But I think that feeling of going inside, outside, upside down, and all around, that seems really cool. I did try one for the first time the other day that I'd really been wanting to do. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Wheel of Death, which is, it looks like two mouse wheels, like on other,
yes,
they go around like that.
Right.
And I had a chance, we have that in our show right now, and two of the Chinese guys who were performing that act let me get inside there, and you know, I didn't get it more than like halfway above the ground, but
it must be a weird feeling.
So much different feeling than I initially thought. And I guess that's how a lot of circus stuff is even though your body's trained physically for what it can do, it's just a whole new sensation.
Yes.
You know, hanging on the trapeze for the first time, I knew I was strong enough to hold myself, but the feeling of the swing was not something I could prepare for, you know? Wow. It's the same thing the first time I skydive. I wasn't scared of jumping out of the plane. I wasn't scared of the parachute. It was just, you don't know what that sensation is. So the first time you feel it, it's new and it's exciting, and sometimes it's petrifying for people, but that's the cool thing about circus too, is also getting the chance to explore different acts and different apparatus.
And that's the big part of the mental and the sensation to prepare for on top of the physical, because like you say, your body's doing something it was never supposed to do in any way, shape, or form. Like you're working completely with you know, and the motions must be incredible, the forces you get and stuff like that.
We were meant to stand on the ground,
yes,
not hang our arms. So yeah,
is it a conquering feeling?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not too different from many things, you know. Whenever you accomplish something, whether, you know, you're trying to change your tire for the first time, or you want to bake a cake, when you finish doing that and the accomplishment that you feel, that personal self-gratification, that's the same feeling. Now, of course, we amplify it a little bit more because the risk involved to get there with what we do, but that feeling of achievement is still so strong. Yeah. And then once you've mastered that, and then you can present that to somebody else, then you get a whole different type of gratification. And I guess I would compare that to like a chef who, you know, they learn how to cook, and then when they serve that food and then somebody really enjoys it and tells them how amazing it was, it's that same kind of gratification.
Right.
Yeah. What crazy things you have else done? Like you just in the last 2 minutes mentioned so many things that I think 99% of the people in the chat haven't done.
You come in. I apologize. They're asking me some stuff about work real quick.
Oh, go ahead. Work first.
You want to be on the video? No. I apologize. Can I give me just 1 second?
Sure. Go ahead.
Yep. Mute
go ahead.
No problem. All right, let's bring you down. Just let us know when you're back.
And in the meantime, guys, I just want to remind you to share and like, and of course to follow our guest who is nearing his 3,400.
Yes.
So let's hope we can help him get there. You heard the amazing story. He's going to be coming back, so don't go anywhere.
And a big hi to Heavy Metal Magnet. I'm going to a 3-hour infant care class right now. Just wanted to stop in and show some love.
I feel for you.
Yes.
Patience. Love.
All right.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. There. The whole family with
the whole
dog
family's
too.
Here. Oh, that's
okay.
right.
So I apologize. What were you asking me before?
Oh, no problem. I was saying that in the last couple of minutes, you mentioned so many extreme things that you have been doing, and I'm sure 99% of the people in the chat haven't even thought maybe of doing or trying that. Is there anything else that you have done? Like what other tricks or maybe just experiences, adventures have you done in circus and outside of it, even before you joined the circus?
Well, outside of circus, one of the things I love doing is cliff jumping, cliff diving into water, not jumping. I'm not a certified parachutist, so I like skydiving, but I've only ever done it tandem. I'm scuba certified, which is ironic because I like scuba diving and I like cliff jumping, but I'm not a great swimmer. A lot of things that there are a lot of things that I haven't tried that I really want to try. I haven't really, I guess you could say I bungee jumped once, but that was a bad experience because, well, never mind.
That's your choice to get into it, yeah.
Well, I put it in a vlog and it was just a short bungee jump and then I wasn't prepared the proper way and I hit my face and got another black eye from the bungee jump.
Oh my God.
It wasn't from hitting the ground. It wasn't unsafe equipment. It was just my stupidity.
Oh, man.
So I don't like to advertise my stupidity, but that happened. There's another thing that I really put on my bucket list is to fly in a fighter jet. I know they have these experiences where you can get in a fighter jet and it takes you like 3 Gs and super fast.
That would be awesome.
I just like that feeling of life in front of you, you know? It's also that feeling, like I said before, the sensation that you don't know what it feels like, and then you experience it, and it's like a drug, and maybe you don't necessarily need it again, but you're glad you felt it because you feel a sense of accomplishment. You say, oh, cool, I just accomplished, I challenged my fear and I did it, you know? And like kind of talking on that subject, that's was my motivating factor when I was an instructor at the trapeze school, because many people would come in there with a fear of doing trapeze or of how that sensation would feel, and to help them accomplish that and to see their excitement and their joy after doing something they never thought they could do. That gave me that gratitude too, you know. So so that's all a part of it, you know. And I think that's just like what I fuel off of in life is getting that feeling from myself from whatever avenue I can, whether it's sports or whether it's watching a highly dramatic movie or a concert or scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef. I've done a lot of cool things like that, but there's so many other amazing things that I've seen people do that I'm just in awe that I'm like, man, inspires me to want to do the same thing, you know, and have that same or similar experience.
There's something I want to ask you about that, because you talked about your upbringing, and we kind of had the same, as I was saying to you earlier when we talked, even like rural Quebec or Texas, you know, your story's a lot like mine. Do you feel part of being fueled to push yourself and experience so many things is because you grew up in such a setting that you kind of feel like, you know, like you're kind of, you were shot out of a cannon type of thing, you know? You start off in this smaller world, and then you get out and this whole new world just opens up to you.
Yeah, I feel like I was just I feel like I was a kid out of place when I was growing up. Yeah. I didn't know it. I didn't know that I felt out of place, but I knew I was always searching for something different, something original, and the sheltered life. And I say sheltered, it's not a bad thing. It's just it's a way, you know. It was a thing that happened. It was how I grew up. I always was trying to find something new. I was kind of an entrepreneur as a kid, trying to figure out new ways to do things and explore different areas. And they say, oh, don't go through that tunnel. Well, I'll go through that tunnel. I just need a friend to go with me, you know, that way we can go through this together and, you know, take a flashlight and take all the precautions, of course, but I always wanted to see what was on the other side of that tunnel, you know? Yeah. So it was kind of the curiosity of my lifestyle, or just my personality maybe, that always, once I finally got this opportunity to branch out and see different parts of the world and try different things like trapeze and skydiving, that it really made me feel like, yeah, this is normal for me. It's it's exciting and it's exhilarating, but it's not something that I think is beyond me. It's not something that I think I would never do. Right. Like that phrase, I don't think I could say anymore, you know, because I've experienced so much, and I've had many things that I didn't think I would do come across as an opportunity. And then I thought, well, if I have the opportunity, let's try it. Why not? You know?
I agree with you.
So, I think that's part of like the upbringing, and my parents are very conservative because they're Midwest, and I was raised in the South. So a lot of that upbringing was like, be safe, be conservative. Like, you know, I definitely learned the family values and all that good stuff as well. And I really love my family and all my friends. But that little thing inside me was like, where can I get into some trouble? Not bad trouble, but some good trouble. You know?
I say that because I feel a kindredship towards you. We didn't take the same paths and what we're interested in too, but I had that exact same feeling. And always feeling I can get along here, and I can mingle, and I can be the farm boy, I can do all these things. But there's something I'm not kind of supposed to be here. And that was when I left. You know, I was going to go to LA and then traveling all over Europe and doing all these things. And I felt just like you did. This is what I was meant to do. This is what I was waiting for. Now I feel right. And that's why I wanted to ask you about that. So, yeah, I get where you're coming from on that.
Yeah. And it's a great feeling knowing that you're in a place where you're happy. When we finish this city, we finish in less than a week. Taiko, me, and one of my other teammates, Alex, we're going to be going back to Los Angeles and stopping through Las Vegas.
Nice.
And the first thing that I was doing was messaging people like, hey, can we do trapeze there? You know, because even though I'm on vacation, it's like, it's still something that I really, really love to do. And it lets me know that I'm doing the right thing that makes me happy in life.
Cool.
And I wish I wish everybody in the world could do that. But, you know, if anybody can be inspired to do one thing from watching other people who do it, I suggest find your inspiration by watching people who talk constantly about doing that, and they act upon doing those things that make them happy, you know, because you get that aura, that energy from other people, you know, from watching them accomplish the things that they say are very simple that you can do too.
That's awesome. It's a rewarding feeling, you know, and there's always a great feeling when that puzzle comes together. Like I remember when Xenia and I first met, we met on a video game years ago by complete fluke. And once we got talking and started to get to know her better, and I find out she's from Latvia, and it's like, this is just the icing on the cake. I love Europe, but to pick a country like that would be like Slovakia or somewhere, off the beaten path, more adventure in store, more new things. I was like, it just enticed me that much more, where some people would be like, oh, I don't, you know, I was like, game on, like I'm going there. And yeah, it's we got to see a lot of things, got to do a lot of things together.
Yes, no, not at the extreme. Now I'm panically afraid of heights, like so afraid of heights that even in gym I couldn't climb the rope at a certain height because it was just way too high. So nowhere near any of what you're talking about. Only in my dreams, maybe. That's why it feels so amazing. Like just to hear you talk about all of that, it's like wow, it's like having a superpower.
Yeah.
To me, that's how it sounds. Like you're talking about having a superpower.
It's a lot of fun.
So you're going to be performing today?
Yeah, actually, I don't want to cut off this because I'm having a great time talking with you guys and sharing everything. But I'm going to be having to put makeup on here pretty soon, and so I probably have about 5 or 10 more minutes, and
of course,
yes, I don't want to be rude by any means, but I don't know that you guys want to see me putting my makeup on it.
Well, it would be interesting. I don't want to put you on the spot or anything like that. But I mean, I think you won a lot of people already over tonight. I think they really feel like, you know, you're definitely got more people interested in what you're doing. That's for sure. And you're a really interesting person, very well-spoken, a good grasp on life. And I think people always gravitate well to that. Is that something you felt you had since you were young? I wanted to ask you about that.
My parents always told me I was a leader, but I didn't know like the brevity of what a leader meant. Like being a leader means like you're the first one in the line of people going to the cafeteria. Right. It doesn't mean you're a leader. It just means you're put in that position. But like, I have noticed, like, I'm not bipolar by any means, but I know myself well enough to know that I have an attitude, and that attitude sometimes gets me in trouble to where people don't want to follow me and don't want to believe and trust in me. But I also know I have a charm, and so it's weird, these like combating like personalities that I completely accept, I completely recognize, and I know they both exist. So I think maybe that's part of why my friends really love me and appreciate me, is because they know that I'm not just a fake person that's going to be friendly and happy all the time, and I'm not going to be that jerk that's going to be in your face and be a butthole all the time either, you know. So
you're human,
but you get a little bit of both, you know, and I think that's what's. I think that those are the type of people I'm drawn to also. You know, I'm not drawn to the people who are just those dictators. I'm not drawn to the people who are just soft and like happy-go-lucky. Because for me, I like leader qualities and people that are like take control, drive, ambition, work ethic. Those kind of things excite me, and so those are the kind of things that I think naturally draw other people to me as well.
Grim Raven's been asking forever, and he wants you to say something in Japanese.
Say something in Japanese. Onakasuita.
There you go.
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
It means I'm hungry.
I can imagine too. You started your morning very early this morning with us, and we appreciate it so much. We got a couple of quick questions. We got a couple of quick questions. If that's okay with you, we'll just shoot through a couple of fast ones. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Well, mostly there's words of admiration, and just wanted to read some of them. Hike and Deep said that you are an elite athlete. To achieve what you are doing, you train like an Olympic athlete on a daily basis. Truly impressive. And you're a passion-driven instead of ego-driven. That is what young people need.
Thank you.
Also, there was a comment that you look a lot.
Oh.
Makeup on now.
Oh. You see, you reach people. You really do.
Yeah.
And that reaches me because, you know, that's really genuine, you know.
I'm glad you enjoyed that. That just
you
shows
you weren't have people crying on here. Dude, that's that sensitive side of me. That's
well, that just makes people admire you that much more. I truly believe that being human on here gets you everywhere. So
yeah. On the bright side of it too, people said that you look like Sean William Scott, an actor.
Stifler.
Which I looked at the latest pictures. I was like, yes, actually, yes. I never even thought of that, but I think they're right.
So I rarely ever worn a beard, and since Movember, I just never shaved it. And I've had this idea for a special effect in my next video I want to do to like get rid of it, but I keep. Yeah. He's much better looking than me, though.
Well, that's what they said. So we gotta believe.
In the same league.
Yes, and the last question: who or what inspires you?
Well, the very first book that I read that I think kind of summed up what my dad was teaching me and kind of gave me the overdrive gear for sports was. Tokyo Drew, you'll love this. There's a Dallas Cowboy player named Bill Bates, and for anybody that doesn't know who he was by NFL standards, he was a small guy, not as strong, not as fast, definitely not as big as any of the other guys, but he played like a rocket. Like everything he did was full speed. He had a tremendous work ethic. He played in the NFL for 14 years or 16 years, I can't remember. He played for a long time, and they actually opened up the spot in the Pro Bowl for his position because he was such a dedicated player. And just reading his autobiography, while my dad was teaching me the lessons of hard work and training and the mentality that goes into preparing before you practice, not preparing before you perform, but even preparing before you practice. Like those things, I think were the initial things that at my young age that really kind of set in motion how everything would go, whether it be jobs, whether it's sports, whether it's relationships, like all those things all tie in together with how you prepare, how you think, how your mind adapts to situations. And one of the other mantras that my dad and my mom taught me when I was younger was to never quit. And I got it tattooed on my arm, but it's upside down now because I can't. But anyway, that's been the driving philosophy ever since then.
Wow. You wear it well, my friend. You really do wear it well.
And I specifically had it written here on my wrist because I didn't want it to be noticeable from the outside. But I also think whenever I'm exhausted or whenever I'm playing sports and I get tired and you wipe the sweat because you feel like you're done. You wipe the sweat and you see that, and it has a symbolism that it's right there. It's watching, you know, you never quit until you finish. And so that's why I had it specifically put there too.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much. You have been truly such an inspiration for lots of people here, and I'm sure kids as well as adults.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're that type of guest that we're always looking for, that will spark interest in everybody, and it always ties back. I mean, we are YouTube growing, you know, that's kind of our whole umbrella. And you're that type of person I want that people will take away tonight, you know, and sit down at their computer, do their editing, and get an extra little boost from it, you know, an inspiration from it. Because everybody burns out, everybody gets tired of it, and we're all more similar than we are different with our channels, even though they might be different topics. Everybody gets it, no matter what the size. And we keep us reaching out and looking everywhere to try and find people like you that will give somebody that shot of that, you know what I mean, that courage, that wisdom, that I can do it as well, you know. And you are such an ambassador for that. It's a real honor and a pleasure to talk with you tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, there's just not a lot of grown men out there that will cry about a YouTube comment and then go put makeup on and then go jump off a 30-foot pedestal.
You've earned your keep.
I have
like I said, you have a superhero powers.
Yes, that's right. And that's what people want here is reality. They want real people, and you are as genuine as they come. And keep doing what you're doing. We're really big fans already, and we just met you a couple of days ago.
I'm sure you gained quite a lot today as well. I'm sure they're going to be coming back for more adventures and more you there, more inspiration.
Thank you.
Ryan is now 14 away from 3,400 guys, so help him out. So he started tonight with 3,353, and we're already getting him up there. And that's just the beginning, so there's going to be lots more to come.
Excited to see what's more to come. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Yes.
Oh, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys. And thank you everybody in the chats. Thank you for all those nice comments. Thank you for everything. I'm inspired by you guys just as much as I'm hoping to inspire you. So thank you for giving me this platform for you, Andrew and
Ksenia.
Yes. Ksenia.
Yes.
Yeah, I told you that one. Everybody does. When she goes to the doctor's office, they literally come out with a paper because it's spelled with a K on top. And she's like, and she's like, yeah, that's me.
Say thank you to Taiko as well for joining us. That was really a pleasure. Thank you so much.
She wants to say thank you also.
Oh, please bring it on.
Yeah, I'm ready.
She's getting her makeup on earlier.
Oh, nice. There, we get to see it. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's so much work you guys do at your performances. Just getting ready, I can imagine, is a feat. So you guys are so awesome. What an amazing couple. And there you go. You're 12 away, guys. I'm going into the wheel mode for a second. Let's get them to 3,400. 12 more to go. I've never done this for a guest in my life. So let's get Ryan up to 3,400, guys. Let's do it.
You're awesome.
Tell your friends to come in and check out Ryan. Give them the link, DM them, all that great stuff. Let's get them way past 3,400.
Please let us know if you guys have any interest in circus stuff around your city or your town or your state or country. Please DM us. We'll do our best to help find something for you if we can.
There you go. 10 to go. He's getting there. Keep it up, guys. We're going to let you guys get ready to for your performance today. Please be safe.
Yes.
And thank you for sharing your time with us, both of you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day. Keep in touch.
All right, you too.
Bye now.
Bye.
Oh my God, they're awesome.
Oh, so amazing, so sweet, and thank you so much for all the amazing words of inspiration.
Just saying, by the way, they're so awesome.
And all the nice compliments for Ryan in the chat. I hope he reads some of them, because I only pulled a couple of them, but there were far more than that. And thank you guys. This was so amazing, amazing, such a journey of life. Wow, I would be excited to chat with him again, like in 5 years, and then like 20 years down the road, and see where is he at,
Oh yeah.
Just it's amazing.
I honestly believe, guys, and he, like he said, he knew nothing about using vlogging. He was calling it vlogging when his friend was telling him. And his work is really amazing. And I was going through it quickly because, like I say, we just met. A big thank you to Tokyo Drew for introducing us. What a great call. He did it right in his lives. See, this is what is amazing about the right YouTubers to connect with. Tokyo Drew's going to be on, but just in a little bit because of schedule timing. And right away, Ryan was in the chat, and he's like, Puša Studios, you got to meet a channel like Ryan. He's in the circus. He'll be an amazing guest. I love people who do that are in it together. That is class. That's what YouTube should be. And it just... they always say restores your faith in humanity.
Yeah.
Stuff like that means the world to me on YouTube here. It really does, to see people going out on for each other. Definitely check out Ryan's work, guys. His vlogging is crazy, but he's got crazy skills as well. He's got just amazing stories on there. Really somebody to keep your eye on to. I think he's going to it's going to happen. It's not a question of if, but when. So... She's such a sport. She's such a sweetheart.
Oh my God. That is so cool, guys. Yes, and if you're just jumping in, I'll really suggest you wind back and watch the interview from the beginning. So much inspiration. Ryan is a circus artist. He is a catcher on a trapeze. He's currently in Japan, in Fuji. On a traveling circus. Wow.
Chalky Orange, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And thank you so much, Gary Foster's. Thank you, Grim Raven. Thank you. We really do appreciate it. Avas Vlogs us, are you live stream? We're on 6 nights a week from Sunday to Friday. Tomorrow night, guys, is Tech Talk Tuesday. 3 hours, open floor. We discuss everything YouTube under the sun.
Oh, yes, we do. That's
you were looking at me. I was like, what? Did I forget it was Tuesday or something?
No, I look at you because I love you. I don't see enough of you. See, we look into one direction, not at each other, which is great. But sometimes you still need to look at each other. Yes, that's tomorrow. We're going to have that tomorrow. 3 hours of all the questions about YouTube, photo, video editing, optimization, tags, playlists, anything that we're talking about during our shout-outs, any of your questions, any answers, all sharing.
And if we don't have the answers, somebody's got them in the chat, guys. It's a co-op where we do it together. We help each other out. No questions too small. Feel free to ask anything with YouTube. We can. And we'll figure it out together. And if we can't, we'll get the right people on it.
Yes, and on Wednesday, we're going to have two amazing men on Method Box. I'm sure you have heard of them.
Yes.
They have moved to Los Angeles. That's right. They're blowing up. They have just returned from New York from the trip from 368 Offline Creators Conference. That's right. That's the Casey Neistat's location. That was a super duper exclusive 100 creators conference right there, and they were a part of it. They actually were a part of creating it, and they're going to be joining us on Wednesday.
How cool is that?
That is going to be amazing.
Yes.
Yes. Can't wait for that, guys. Lots of amazing guests lined up for the following months, and after that, can't wait to share all of that with you, and hope you can join us. Our schedule is in the About section and in video description as well.
Ellie Oker, how are you? Great to see you. And you can check our About section for our schedule. Actually, everybody, you can see it. You can see when we're on. It's right here, and we'll tell you the days we're on, the times, and what's going on. So I'm so excited for Wednesday night. That's going to be so cool.
Oh, yes. There's so much things that they have been planning. They have done before. They have actually interviewed beforehand a Patreon owner.
Yep.
They have talked with so many amazing creators and influencers out there. What they do is actually teach people how to brand themselves. And that's the part that we are trying to do here as well. So lots of questions for them, I'm sure, will be too. And our guest is just 4 away from no, that's just us.
That's us, yeah. That's
okay.
us, yeah.
So we're 4 away from 5,700, and our guest is 10 away from 34.
And as I said, guys, you always see it, so we show everything and know that you're not the only ones going through it. We were at 5,704 last night. That's probably a couple were doing it kind of hard, joined with a second account. It can happen sometimes, and YouTube will erase it. And just little things. So I just wanted to show you. It always happens to us. But if there is 4 people around that really like us right now and have subscribed, please feel free. We'd love to meet you.
Also wanted to remind you about the creators protest that is going on to prompt YouTube to remove the dislikes. If you can go over to the video that is created by Mark Ansby that explains all about that. And if you want to be a part of it and hide your likes and dislikes in order to create more kindness and creativity on YouTube, you can do that too.
That's right. Oh, you just posted this. Okay.
I posted the link, and it's also in the description of the video available.
I don't even know if we linked to the same video or not. Here, I'll remove mine. We don't want to spam. There we go.
No spamming, please.
Oh, my God. You guys are so awesome. It's been such a great night hanging out with you, and I'm glad you enjoyed Ryan and Taiko. They are absolutely awesome. And once again, to Drew, thank you so much for recommending them. And also, too, with you, Drew, we cannot wait to sit down and talk with you as well. That's been something we were so lucky with, is meeting all these great channels and getting to interview channels with you guys in the chat, people we have up here. We've been very lucky in YouTube. I gotta say that.
Yeah, and I was talking with on Twitter today earlier about that, and it's interesting how humbling and exciting at the same time it is to realize how many amazing people all across the globe we have connected with, from different continents, different time zones, different cultures, different social backgrounds, and no matter how we sometimes complain about YouTube platform, that is something that this platform has given to us, and we hope that we share that with you as well.
We're all in it together, guys. We all benefit from it. Once again, you guys in the chat is what makes us what we are, and can never begin to thank you enough for all that you've done for us. Whether it was telling your friends, cheering us on, tweeting it out, the great comments, making guests feel welcomed, and new people here welcomed. The great feel could only have been created by you guys, and it just you those numbers we talk about, so well, you guys were the huge part in making them what they are, not us. So we really do appreciate each and every one of you guys.
If you can come back and leave a comment after the video is uploaded, we would appreciate that a lot. That would help us with the interaction of our algorithms.
Yes.
I know it's asking a lot of you guys, but if you happen to come across our video again, please leave a comment. We do appreciate that.
You do. It's in the house. How are you? Great to see you. Great to see you. Riley Finchfield, you're in Manitoba, if I remember right. It's going to be minus 51 degrees Celsius, guys.
Wow.
Minus 51. I remember that working in Saskatchewan, and it is cold. Isn't that?
Yes, it is. And guys, be safe in Toronto area. Ontario storm is right in the middle of the peak right now, so be safe wherever you are there.
Minus 51, by the way, for anybody in the States, is minus 59.8 Fahrenheit. So
it is cold.
Yeah.
Believe us, it is cold.
Is Roger on right now?
Yes, he is, and that's exactly
where
we're going to send everybody.
Yep, there you go, guys. There's the answer. Please hit the like button, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I want to get to know you guys all better. And if you have a couple of friends, please tell them to come by. I don't know, try and get that back up over 57 for the third time.
And Marcel, thank you so much for adding us to your featured channel
list. That's so cool. Thank you.
So awesome. Thank you. Marcel, by the way, is an old friend of ours who just restarted his YouTube career again. He's an amazing artist, too. Very talented.
Tim's World, how are you? Great to see you. Great to see you. Space Galleria, thank you so much. You guys are absolutely awesome. Congratulations, Just My Fish. You got this. Any number you can pull off. Oh, where's Danny Black? I was even going to bring you up tonight about...
I think he's on his next ship.
He's watching on a cruise ship.
That's right. Yesterday he watched us waiting for the airplane. Thank you so much.
First Lady of GFAM is here. Welcome to all you guys. Hopefully you guys can go back and watch it. What an inspiring night.
Yes.
And remember, guys, who do we got on Wednesday night?
Oh, we have Method Box on.
That's right.
That's right. But especially I just wanted to say to Danny Black, and I'm sure you and your wife are going to be very interested in this guest tonight. So if you can, guys, just skip through the parts and watch some of it. He is a circus performer. Him and his girlfriend, they are on the Trapeze flyers. So that was very exciting and very interesting. Yeah. Wow. So Wednesday we have Method Box. They just returned from 368 offline creator forum event, a very exclusive 100 creators event. So excited to listen to that. And of course, why did they move to Los Angeles and what is there in the future for them? It's their year.
That's right, guys. You guys are going to get you can't even put a price tag on the knowledge that's going to be here Wednesday night. So you definitely do not want to miss it. So let's see here. This is definitely a video that I will be rewatching. Chalky Orange, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. He was absolutely just awesome. I mean, while you guys are here, let's see if I can find one video clip of him very quickly. Just entice you guys to go back and look.
His video editing is very unique and very amazing. Just him self-taught, but
this is what he does.
Powers are crazy.
This is not his vlog right here, but I just wanted to show you guys.
Like, this is superhuman. I don't know how else to call it.
Yep.
Wow.
What an amazing channel.
So if you missed that, watch our interview right from the beginning. There's lots of that there. He's talking all about his experiences.
Shauna's Country Charm, I don't use Streamlabs, but you know what? I might get somebody on here who does know about it and get them to talk about it. I'm actually thinking about it. I use OBS straight, and even that, I use it, but I don't feel comfortable enough giving tutorials onto it. I don't want to give people bad information. So I will definitely look into that and maybe bring somebody on that can help us out and give us a bit more insight. So
that's right. And Marcel, there is an instruction video in the description, how to hide the likes and dislikes. If you're interested to join the movement, there is an instruction video there, so you can go and check that out. There is also interesting, and I forgot to ask him about his old videos from 5 years ago, where he loved to prank people.
Yes.
There's plenty of content there to watch, guys, so go check him out, and let's get him to 400. Well, in the meantime, from Pusa with Love, we are gonna raid an amazing channel.
Yes, guys, hit the like button, guys, please. If you're new here, please subscribe. Thank you so much. You do it. Definitely thank you very much for that. And head over to Rogers, guys, one of my favorite channels on YouTube. I do go on with him a lot of times on these panels in the morning and stuff like that. He only lives an hour away from us, but one of my favorites. So you want to go, there's lots of great people, and there you can, guys. There's one of the places you can go over. Just don't ask for support, but you'll meet some great channels over there, and you'll definitely grow. So.
Yes, Creator Spotlight, you're right. Well, we were very proudly excited when we caught Cody Warner just when he was at 2400, and just before he started kicking off on his path on a rocket. And I think this is another one of those. Method Box is definitely on the way to the space on their rocket ship. So excited.
Terrell, thank you for everything once again. Guys, if you've not supported Terrell's artwork channel, Terrell is the original wrench in here. Been with it since the very beginning when there was nobody in the chat but Terrell and maybe one other person. Please show Terrell's artwork channel some love. He has been so good to us. I mean, he's instrumental in this channel being what it is today. So definitely throw some love his way. You'll not regret it. So.
Aniki is here as well.
Hey,
How are
Aniki.
you doing, Aniki? Good to see you. We are just about to end our live stream here, but please jump over to Roger's stream.
Actually, Aniki, if you can get a chance to go back and watch a bit of the interview tonight, I know you'll actually really love it. He's a trapeze artist, living in Japan right now, originally from Texas.
I think your son is gonna appreciate that actually too.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Very inspirational and just amazing story.
Yeah.
Like the adventures and all of that is just amazing. Wow. Yeah.
So if you get a chance, definitely go back and watch a little bit of it. He is phenomenal. She was too. She was brave to get on and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very cool. So
both of them so cute. Taiko, her name. Yes, she joined us as well.
That was nice. I was glad she got to make it. We even had an appearance by the third member of the family. Their amazing dog. That was cool.
Yes, and we thank you so much for the reminder. Blue Ridge Group selfies.
Oh,
guys.
Yes.
Thank you. Heavy Metal Magnet is at the baby lessons, so he can't remind us. But thank you, Shauna.
Oh, let's see where we are here, guys. And we Ryan was there, and there's Dave, Organic Dave. Let me share him here. There's our good buddy, Organic Dave. Never misses a beat.
So sunny and warm, green trees. Oh my God.
Yeah, he's definitely not up here tonight. That's for sure. Sergeant Slaughter's slot machine. There he is. Thank you so much. Always tweeting out. So appreciated. Shauna Farrow.
Holly Berry's birthday party. Oh, it's her birthday.
That
is so cute. That's like from a fairy tale. Every time I see the video, it's like a fairy tale.
That was so cool.
Would you like to have a deer as a best friend? I would.
I know you would. Yeah,
I know.
That's pretty cool.
Andrew doesn't let me have a squirrel even.
Yeah, because they're nice to have in the house. They don't do any damage or nothing.
Apparently, they're very well trainable.
Which on wheels? It's just nice to see you. It's always a pleasure, and I hope you're doing well. Always great to have you in. So thank you so much for coming. Explorer Ginger, how are you? Nice to see you. Oh, I hope you guys usually don't. I know people don't want to go back and watch live streams. I hope you can go back and catch a bit of our guest tonight. Trapeze artist, him and his wife, phenomenal people. Man, what a show. And Wednesday night, guys, Method Box. You do not want to miss, back from Casey Neistat's 3-6. It's going to be phenomenal. Like, I can't wait for this.
Oh, yeah. The ideas that's going to spark and fly around is going to be crazy. But before that, tomorrow, Tuesday, Tech Talks, 3 hours of all the questions and answers all together. We're going to find them and grow together. So join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be here as almost every evening. So hope you enjoy the rest of the night. And let's get over to Canadian Drone Hub, Roger's stream. See you there.
See you later. Thank you for coming. Much love, guys. Bye now.